Known as the god of death of Konoha, this video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 51 Emergency Treatment. Mangekyo Sharingan appears. The three Magatama rotates quickly, turning into a sickle shape, appearing in Uchiha Fugaku's eyes. You will deserve to die, Amaterasu. Uchiha Fugaku's words, which are filled with murderous intent. Two balls of flame appear on the bodies of the two Chunins. Damn it. Is this a flame? Why can't it be extinguished? Damn it. I don't want to die yet. The two Chunins turned into ashes. Meiya. Hang on. Let's go find Lord Bai Yu. Uchiha Mikoto knows some simple healing techniques. With tears streaming down her face, she continued to output to keep Uchiha Meiya from upgrading. Yes, Lord Bai Yu. Let's go. It's just a. Uchiha Fugaku looked at the big hole created by the detonating talisman in pain. Meiya, hang on. We must always be together. Uchiha Fugaku understood his own heart because of Meiya's efforts. Recalling every little bit of the time with Meiya from childhood to adulthood, looking at Meiya's breathless appearance, I was extremely anxious. Meiya could only smile and respond to Fugaku at this time. The passing of life made Meiya extremely weak. Seeing this, Uchiha Mikoto and Uchiha Fugaku gathered their strength and ran towards the village. Fortunately, they didn't go far. Bai Yu, who finally fell asleep, suddenly felt a vibration around him. Bang! The door was pushed open violently. Sure, Bai Yu pulled out the Bai Yu sword under the pillow with his backhand. Subconsciously pressed it against the neck of a vague figure. Who is it? Bai Yu didn't feel the danger, so he didn't kill him. Yawned lazily, supporting the body with his left elbow. Holding the Bai Yu sword in his right hand, he looked at the person who came with sleepy eyes. It's me, Uchiha Fugaku, Lord Bai Yu. Uchiha Fugaku was frightened by Bai Yu's sword. He felt that, even if he opened his Mangekyo Sharingan, he could not resist Bai Yu's subconscious sword just now, because he felt that Bai Yu seemed to have locked onto him. Oh. Fugaku. What the hell are you doing? Why are you covered in blood? Bai Yu was still a little sleepy at first, but he woke up instantly. It's too late to say. Lord Bai Yu, please save Meiya quickly. I know that your medical ninjutsu is better than that of Lady Tsunade. Uchiha Mikoto held Uchiha Meiya and came to Bai Yu, saying anxiously. Bai Yu heard this and knew that it was not the time to hesitate. His face straightened. He carefully observed the pale Uchiha Meiya. He put his hand on the wrist and his face changed. He put it on the neck again and Bai Yu's face changed completely. Finally, he attached his ear to his chest. Bai Yu breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, there was still a weak heartbeat. Without any hesitation, Bai Yu condensed a huge ball of green chakra with one hand, sticking it on the wound. The green chakra quickly covered Uchiha Meiya's whole body. What a strong chakra cultivation. Uchiha Fugaku was shocked when he saw the chakra released by Bai Yu. He is worthy of being the man who killed the one-tailed Jinchuriki alone and captured the third Kazekage alive. Uchiha Fugaku's eyes were full of admiration. Uchiha Mikoto stared at Bai Yu infatuatedly, and a lot of scenes were imagined in her mind. After a long time, Uchiha Mrs. Heartbeat became active again, and her organs began to recover their functions. The wound healed at a speed visible to the naked eye. Bai Yu stopped the output of chakra and slowly took it back into his body. What's wrong? Uchiha Fugaku saw the chakra retreat. He asked hurriedly. It's okay. I just feel weak recently. It's timely to send him here. If it's later, it will be impossible to save him. Bai Yu finished speaking. Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Mikoto sat on the ground. They breathed a sigh of relief. However, the sacrifice of Uchiha Inamura flashed through their minds, and they felt like a big stone was pressing on their hearts. Tell me, what happened? Bai Yu asked seriously. Uchiha Fugaku told the story. Bai Yu also felt emotional. He didn't expect that they were eating together the previous second, and they died the next second. But soon, Bai Yu realized the problem. Although the attacking ninjas were wiped out, but why did they know so much about the movements of Uchiha Fugaku and his group? This must be something inside the village. Isn't it good for the village to be harmonious? although the Uchiha clan used to cough. But now, it's not right. If the village is harmonious, Sarutobi Hiruzen's position will definitely be as solid as a rock. Is there someone who wants to take the position? Could it be Danzo? Thinking about it this way, the train of thought became much clearer. Danzo does things very extreme. Sarutobi Hiruzen is a little indecisive. And everyone knows how ambitious Shimura Danzo is. Is Shimura Danzo planning to make the situation in the village turbid again? Eliminate the family that poses the greatest threat, take the opportunity to make trouble, and then force the Hokage to be in a dilemma and take advantage of the situation to take the position? There is no doubt that the Uchiha clan, as a powerful clan of Konoha, has a criminal record. It is one of the clans that can threaten the top leaders of Konoha, and it is also the clan that is most likely to take the blame when something goes wrong. It's terrifying to think about it. Judging from the habits of that old man Danzo Shimura, the old immortal, all the evidence should have been erased by now. This little Danzo, doesn't he know that the Uchiha clan is my partner now? Damn it. I'll remember it for you first, and we will settle the accounts at once, when the time comes. Hey, it's come to this. Fugaku. Go and see if there are any relics of Inamura. You guys should follow me these few days. Bai Yu said with a complicated expression. Yes, Lord Bai Yu. Uchiha Fugaku said with a heavy face, then walked out of the room to search for Uchiha Inamura's relics. Makoto. You take care of Missy. Go to bed early. Bai Yu stretched and said. But something embarrassing happened. The pajamas are the kind of long robe style, tied with a knot at the waist. It opened. Mikoto's face flushed instantly, and she lowered her head shyly. Bai Yu was stunned. He quickly put his clothes in order. He said awkwardly, I'm going to sleep first. Bai Yu instantly moved his bed to the side, and then put away the Bai Yu sword. He wrapped his whole body in the quilt, including his head. Mikoto looked at Bai Yu's hurried back, and the corners of her mouth couldn't help but rise, but her face was still red. Such a stunning scene. Missy was still in a coma. After a while, Uchiha Fugaku came back. Seeing Bai Yu sleeping soundly, he didn't disturb him. He was holding a ninja forehead protector. He sat there quietly, without speaking, and didn't sleep all night. At the same time, Mikoto also didn't sleep all night, and couldn't sleep at all. The next day, Bai Yu woke up and stretched. Nothing embarrassing happened this time. Looking at Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Mikoto with bloodshot eyes, Bai Yu sighed helplessly. You two can rest in this room today, and take care of Meiya. I'm going to go out to do something. Bai Yu said helplessly. The two nodded mechanically. Bai Yu shook his head, carried his clothes to the bathroom, changed his clothes, and left with the Bai Yu sword. Chapter 52. Eyes full of love. That should be it. Bai Yu walked to a grocery store. There was a black market pattern carved on the door. Bai Yu strode in. What would you like to order? The front desk staff of the grocery store asked Bai Yu as he entered the door. This is really different from ordinary stores. Ordinary stores have their front desks inside, but the front desks of black market stores are outside and the goods are inside. Maybe they are afraid of being robbed. Bai Yu guessed secretly, but Bai Yu really guessed it. What kind of monsters are there in the black market? Either they are the murderous wandering ninjas or the rebellious ninjas from various villages. What do you have here? Bai Yu asked. We have everything. It depends on whether you can afford it, said the staff. What if you pay? What if you don't? Bai Yu said lightly. Pay money and get the goods. Don't pay and get your life. The staff replied in surprise. This is a conversation in the black market, that Tsunade told Bai Yu. Then I'll pay for the goods. Pay for the goods. This is to buy things according to the items needed. If there are any in the store, then buy them in the store. If there are no in the store, Bai Yu will be given an address note telling Bai Yu that here is the item he needs. If you don't pay for your life, this is to accept the black market mission, and the store will also give Bai Yu an address. This is a special place to accept missions. What goods do you want? The staff asked vigilantly in his heart, but on the surface he was still very calm. Compared to the black market, the people are more evil, even more evil than the black market. Black market information. Newcomer's debut. Bai Yu said lightly. 500 taels. The staff said quickly from the scroll behind him. Bai Yu gave the staff 500 taels straightforwardly. Then he walked away. Bai Yu found a quiet place. He began to look through the scroll. Bai Yu read it once and had a specific understanding of the black market. It was similar to what Tsunade told him. But there were more rules for the establishment of underground organizations, the rules for joining underground organizations, and some underground entertainment venues. Bai Yu burned the scroll and returned to the store again. What do you need? The staff asked calmly. Organization uniforms. 200 sets. Bai Yu said. Tell me about the organization badge. What are the requirements? The staff showed professionalism without showing any expression and remained calm. The badge is a dragon head. Like this. Bai Yu used his super chakra control to draw the dragon head of the white dragon out of thin air. The staff calmly took out a notebook and a drawing pen from the front desk. Draw it in no time. Damn, what a talent. Bai Yu exclaimed inwardly. What are the requirements? The staff asked. Light armor, with a dragon head engraved on the left chest. It must be white with patterns. It can be big or small, and it doesn't hinder exercise. It must be cool and stylish. Bai Yu thought for a while and said, well, a deposit of 1000 taels. I guarantee you will be satisfied. If you are not satisfied, the deposit will be refunded. The staff said confidently. Okay. Bai Yu took out his wallet and saw the remaining money in it, which was exactly 1000 taels, and there were still a few hundred taels left. It seems that I have to withdraw some money. Where is my passbook? Damn. Bai Yu finally remembered what he had forgotten. The passbook fell on the bedside table. Tsunade. It's over. Bai Yu thought with his heels. Everyone knew what Tsunade would do with the passbook. Bai Yu handed the 1000 taels to the staff with a gloomy face and took the receipt handed to him by the staff. The staff was scared and thought Bai Yu was going to rob. Come and pick up the goods in 2 months. The staff still forced himself to calm down. Bai Yu nodded and left. The servant with a gloomy face. After Bai Yu left, the staff sat down on the chair, and Bai Yu felt terrified by the oppression. Thinking of Tsunade's character, Bai Yu resolutely took a brisk little step and went straight to the casino in this village. There is no way. The landlord has a prodigal old woman. Bai Yu wanted to cry, but couldn't find the tone. For 3 days, Bai Yu stayed in the casino until the casino owner knelt down to Bai Yu. There was no way to fight, and it was useless to talk. The helpless casino owner took out a 7-foot white silk and hung it on the beam of the empty casino, kneeling down and begging Bai Yu to leave quickly. Bai Yu couldn't bear it, so he took out a rope, tied the 10 suitcases, and left with a feeling of unfulfilled desire. Where did Lord Bai Yu go? Why hasn't he come back in 3 days? Uchiha Missy said to Missy, who had just woken up and was lying on the bed with a worried look on her face. Don't worry. Don't you know Lord Bai Yu's strength? Even the tailed beasts can't do anything to Lord Bai Yu. Uchiha Missy said with a pale face. That's right. Lord Bai Yu's strength is definitely beyond doubt. Uchiha Fugaku said while helping Uchiha Missy peel an apple. I know. Uchiha Missy blushed. I know, you're just worried about your sweetheart. Uchiha Missy said teasingly. What? Missy, do you have a sweetheart? Who is it? Uchiha Fugaku heard this and immediately asked curiously. Hearing this, Uchiha Missy remained silent, but her face was a little red. Uchiha Missy looked at Uchiha Fugaku helplessly, with a sense of relief. If it weren't for this incident, I guess this idiot would never know my feelings for him until he died. Then he couldn't help but mix some caring eyes with a mentally retarded look in his eyes. Misaya, why do you look at me strangely? Uchiha Fugaku asked uncomfortably. What's strange about it? This is all my love for you. Fool. Uchiha Misaya said gently. Well, I feel it. Misaya, you are so nice. Uchiha Fugaku said happily. Bai Yu opened a savings book again and deposited the money in it. Looking at the string of zeros in the savings book, Bai Yu's mood was instantly beautiful again. Bai Yu took a brisk step and returned to the hotel. Bai Yu Samuyu. Uchiha Makoto covered her mouth and looked at Bai Yu in surprise and exclaimed. Me? What's wrong? Bai Yu asked puzzledly. At this time, Bai Yu had a scruffy beard and his hair was a little greasy. Your image. Uchiha Missy said weakly. Image? Bai Yu looked in the mirror. Oh my god. I was wondering why others looked at me strangely. Fugaku, go buy me some clothes. A white robe. Bai Yu finished speaking quickly. He quickly cut off his beard, then rushed downstairs to take a hot spring bath. Lord Bai Yu, you haven't told me your size yet. Uchiha Fugaku said helplessly as he looked at Bai Yu's departing figure. Well, I know Lord Bai Yu's size. I'll go buy it. You can send it to Lord Bai Yu later. You take care of Missy. Uchiha Makoto said shyly, then left quickly. Hey, how does she know Lord Bai Yu's size? Uchiha Fugaku said puzzledly. After a while, Uchiha Fugaku's eyes lit up, and he said, I know. Uchiha Missy can know Lord Bai Yu's size, so it must be. At this time, Uchiha Missy was a little surprised. Could it be that this idiot had come to his senses? Makoto must have a talent for tailoring. She can tell at a glance what size clothes Shiraha-sama wears. Uchiha Fugaku said firmly. Uchiha Missy once again gave the mentally retarded a loving look. Missy, I feel your love for me. Uchiha Fugaku said happily, while holding Uchiha Missy's hand. Chapter 53 Go to Konoha Hospital, to ask for leave for Tsunade. After Uchiha Makoto bought the clothes, she handed them to Uchiha Fugaku, and asked him to deliver them to Bai Yu. After a while, Bai Yu appeared in front of the three people with a refreshed spirit. In order to take care of Miya, Bai Yu called Bai Long out. You haven't talked to me for a long time. Bai Long said with some resentment. At this time, it felt a little regretful, and helped Bai Yu do some good things quietly. Okay, Xiao Bai, I won't do it again in the future. Haha. Bai Yu said embarrassedly. Bai Long's speed was very fast. At the speed of lightning. After a while, the whole picture of Konoha village appeared under his feet. Bai Long landed towards the gate of Konoha in a free fall. This scared Uchiha Fugaku and the other two. Bai Yu used chakra to hold the three people's bodies. Used chakra to attach to Xiaobei's scales. Bai Yu said with a smile. Hearing this, the three people tightly attached to Bai Long's scales. This is. The senior ninjas in the village felt the breath of Bai Long and their faces changed. But then, Bai Yu is back. I thought. Everyone relaxed their brows. Even ninjas who were not familiar with Bai Long's aura, seeing Bai Long's huge body, and recalling Bai Yu's ability, were relieved. This kid. Sarutobi Hirozen looked out the window, and saw Bai Long's body, and smiled. Hirozen, you are no longer suitable to be Hokage. You don't even have such power in your own hands. Everything is for the village. Shimura Danzo said alone in the office, after listening to his subordinates' reports. Brilliant casino. Tsunade-sama. Tsunade-sama. Bai Yu-sama is back. A casino staff member hurriedly ran to Tsunade and said. At this time, Tsunade, wearing high heels, stepped on the stool next to her with one foot, like a female bandit, excitedly shaking the dice. Hearing the staff's words, Tsunade quickly threw away the sieve in her hand, jumped out through the window, rushing towards Konoha Hospital. How come you came back so quickly? It's over. I lost all the money in my passbook. I still owe a lot. What should I do? Tsunade thought as she ran. Although Bai Yu didn't say anything every time, thinking about Bai Yu's twitching mouth, forcing a smile, and saying it was okay, and then quietly going to earn the money back. Tsunade was a bit like a child who had made a mistake. She was a little flustered about the upcoming meeting with Bai Yu. Damn it. I must win it all back next time. Tsunade said angrily. After Bai Yu came back, he registered at the door, said something to Uchiha Fugaku and the other two, and then rushed to the casino quickly. Bai Yu found the staff and asked Tsunade's information. At first, the staff didn't say anything, but under Bai Yu's coercion and inducement, he still said it. Tell me, how much money did Tsunade lose? Bai Yu felt like he was about to spit out a mouthful of blood. 1,078,000,000 taels. Among them, 30 million taels of gambling money owed to others were repaid by the casino. The staff looked at Bai Yu, who looked like he had lost everything, and repeated it silently. Hey, tell them to deduct it from me. They can't be asked to share it equally. The they Bai Yu was talking about were the people who worked with ZHU Luchao. After saying that, Bai Yu walked slowly towards the Konoha hospital with a gloomy face. As soon as Bai Yu arrived at the hospital gate, he saw a beautiful figure breaking through the window on the third floor and escaping. Tsunade. Bai Yu shouted. he turned into purple lightning and chased after her at a faster speed. This time, it was not Tsunade who grabbed Bai Yu's collar. Instead, Bai Yu carried Tsunade, who was fixed by the immobilization talisman, and ran home. Tsunade felt Bai Yu's anger for the first time. The next day, looking at Tsunade with tears and red face, Bai Yu said reluctantly, "Don't lose like this in the future. That's all my savings. Be more careful in the future. I'll ask for leave for you at Konoha hospital later. I'll go cook for you first." "You're so cruel," Tsunade said weakly, motionless on the bed. Who made you go too far this time and lose all my savings? I will treat you." Bai Yu felt very distressed when he saw Tsunade, who was about to cry, but who made Tsunade go too far. Bai Yu used healing techniques to reduce the swelling of Tsunade's red and swollen parts. Readers can imagine it by themselves. Since yesterday, all the time. After a while, Tsunade ate some of the food made by Bai Yu and fell asleep. The body can be healed through medical ninjutsu, but mental overdraft can only be made up by sleeping. Bai Yu covered Tsunade with a quilt. He kissed her white forehead. With the Bai Yu sword on his waist, he walked towards the Konoha hospital. Bai Zhang Haley had met Bai Yu once before. Now he is the second in command of Konoha hospital. The first in command is naturally Tsunade. Bai Yu came to the office and told Bai Zhang Haley that Tsunade was unwell and had to recuperate at home for a few days. Bai Zhang Haley said with a bad face, "This is bad. There are 3 patients. They are ninjas from World War II. After their injuries healed, they couldn't gather chakra. I don't know why. Their condition started to worsen last night. I was going to wait for Lady Tsunade to come and report today. At this time, a medical ninja ran in hurriedly. It's not good. The 3 patients in Ward 38 are in trouble. Their bodies are shrinking. The blood is reduced. Let's go. Let's take a look." Bai Yu didn't waste any words. He said directly, "Lady Haley, this young medical ninja knew Bai Yu's name, but didn't know that Bai Yu knew medical ninjutsu. Let's go." Bai Zhang Haley was different. She knew that, although Bai Yu never showed medical ninjutsu, she heard from Lady Tsunade that Bai Yu's medical ninjutsu was stronger than Tsunade's. Bai Yu came to Ward 38 under the leadership of Bai Zhang Haley. As soon as Bai Yu entered the door, he saw 3 mummies. Ahem. They were mummified patients. Bai Yu hurried over to investigate. Immediately felt a little bit of the same. Bai Yu's control over chakra is definitely subtle. Bai Yu felt that there was another life force in the 3 patients. "What were the results of your previous examination?" Bai Yu asked seriously. "It is suspected that the hematopoietic function is declining and the cell energy is deficient. But there has been no major change, except that the heartbeat has slowed down and the chakra cannot be condensed," Bai Zhang Haley said. Bai Yu frowned when he heard it and felt it with chakra again. Is my chakra a little less? Bai Yu suddenly realized that when his chakra was retracted into his body, it was inexplicably a little less. But just this point made Bai Yu notice it instantly. Dharma Eye. Bai Yu made a prompt decision and instantly opened the Dharma Eye. This look made Bai Yu sick! Exclamation mark. Chapter 54. Parabola again. The perception ability of the Dharma Eye raised Bai Yu's perception to a super strong level. He saw that the bodies of the 3 people were full of chakra. Chakra is composed of dense chakra points, and each chakra point has many super small chakra points. And these chakra points are alive. It is a super nano level bug. Invite the strongest person in the Aburame clan who controls bugs. Hurry up. Bai Yu said decisively. Yes, Lord Bai Yu. Bai Zhang Haley did not question Bai Yu at all. After a while, a 14-year-old boy with small sunglasses came to the Konoha hospital. Lord Bai Yu. This is the Aburame Ziwei who has the most talent in controlling bugs in the Aburame clan. Bai Zhang Haley introduced. Hello, Lord Bai Yu. Aburame Ziwei had a blank expression on his face, but his tone was still polite. Okay, let's not talk nonsense. If this thing succeeds, it will also be an opportunity for you. Go check on these 3 people. Bai Yu said decisively without hesitation. Yes. Aburame Ziwei responded and walked to the 3 people. Huan raised his right hand, and it turned black at a speed visible to the naked eye. A group of bugs grew rapidly from the body of Ziwei. They flew to the bodies of the 3 people. This is a perceptual bug. As the bugs fell back into Yunozua's hand, Yunozua's expressionless face was rarely excited. Master Bai Yu. They have an extremely rare super nano bug in their bodies. As expected, the Yunu clan would be excited when they saw unusual bugs. Yunozua's tone at this time was also mixed with a hint of excitement. Can it be controlled? Bai Yu asked with a smile. Hearing this, Yunozue did not answer, but pondered for a long time. It can be controlled, but after I guide the bugs out, the vitality of these 3 people will decline rapidly until they die. Almost 1/3 of the cells in their bodies have been eroded. Yunozue said rigorously. Eroded, but not necrotic. As long as they are not dead, I can save them. You just need to perform normally, and leave the rest to me. Bai Yu said confidently. Yes. Aburamzue looked at Bai Yu's confident look and was relieved. If this rare bug was obtained at the expense of his companions, Aburamzue would feel bad. Shadow clone technique. Bai Yu created 2 clones, keeping the chakra of the 2 clones equal to that of the original body. Standing next to the 3 patients, as soon as Aburamzue finished, Bai Yu could quickly take over. Aburamzue used the family's technique to write and draw on the 3 people, and then released the chakra bug after a certain distance. This bug was specially cultivated by the Aburame clan to attract bugs. Sure enough, under the observation of Bai Yu's Dharma Eye, those ultra nano level bugs, at a speed visible to the naked eye, poured out of the 3 people's bodies, enveloping the chakra bugs released by Aburamzue. Master Bai Yu. Aburamzue gestured and formed seals with both hands, and the chakra bugs quickly turned into runes. Seal the ultra nano level bugs tightly. Bai Yu waited for a long time on the side. Both hands burst out enchanting green chakra. Innate key, divide yin and yang. In my name, bind the life force. This is the first time that Bai Yu has used the ability of the Dharma Eye to plunder vitality. Today, Bai Yu can plunder the vitality of a 60 years. However, these 3 people stopped absorbing vitality after absorbing 30 years. This is because the 3 people are still alive, so they can't cheat. It seems that these 3 people can only live to more than 50 years old. With the blessing of vitality, coupled with Bai Yu's advanced healing technique, the body that was originally like a mummy began to fill up, as if it was inflated. Bai Yu didn't stop until it returned to normal. Just as Bai Yu finished, Aburamzue also finished the secret technique. Aburamzue sealed the ultra nano level insects in a gourd. There is a mother body in the gourd that specializes in cultivating various special insects. As long as this insect eats a special insect, it will have the properties of a special insect, and then produce a high quality special insect mother body. Then cultivate it, and Aburamzue can control it. Congratulations to Aburamzue. Bai Yu said with a smile. At this time, the matter was over, and Bai Yu returned to his original appearance. No, I should say that I thank Lord Bai Yu. If it weren't for Lord Bai Yu's appreciation, I wouldn't have this rare and special bug. Aburamzue said. That's because your Aburame clan is very good at controlling bugs. So I recognize your Aburame clan. Haha. Bai Yu said proudly. He handed over the follow-up matters of the 3 patients to Bixiang Haley, and under Bixiang Haley's admiring eyes, he said goodbye to Bixiang Haley and Aburamzue. A person walked on the streets of Konoha with brisk steps. At this time, Bai Yu felt bored. The Dragon Group uniforms need 2 months, and the base needs 3 months. As for business, except for the Konoha amusement park that is still under construction, everything else is developing steadily. After being busy for so long, do you want to visit? Or visit? Since the Second World War, I have rarely gathered with Minato Namikaze, Kushina Uzumaki, Shikaku Nera, Chozora Kimichi, and Inoichi Yamanaka. It is winter now, so there should be nothing to do. Shadow clone technique. Bai Yu created 4 clones, 3 to call Inoshikacho, and the other to call Kushina Uzumaki. As for the original body, he went to call Minato Namikaze, because Minato Namikaze's home is close to Konoha Chuanxiang, and the gathering place is also in Konoha Chuanxiang. Bai Yu quickly arrived at Minato Namikaze's home. He knocked on the door, and it was soon opened. To Bai Yu's surprise, it was Kushina Uzumaki who opened the door. Oh my god, did I go the wrong way? Bai Yu looked at the mark next to the door, and it was indeed Minato Namikaze. Sister, what are you doing? Bai Yu was a little confused, but a little bit of evil thoughts flashed through his mind, and he testified that it was only a little bit. Ah. That, you, please come in. Looking at Bai Yu's eyes, the famously thick-skinned Kushina Uzumaki couldn't help but blush. Bai Yu had just stepped into Minato Namikaze's house. The next second, Minato Namikaze ran out wearing home shorts and bare upper body. Still with a kind smile on his face, he asked, Kushina, who's here? Hey, long time no see, you. Bai Yu looked at the messy clothes on the floor in the room, Minato Namikaze with bare upper body, and then looked at Kushina Uzumaki. The meaning in his eyes was self-evident. Asshole, you can't be without clothes, no matter who comes. Hurry up and put on your clothes. Kushina Uzumaki shamefully pressed her number 36 soul tightly against Minato Namikaze's profile. Her red hair moved automatically without wind. Minato Namikaze formed a parabola and landed in the bedroom at a high speed, making a series of noises. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 55, Peaceful. Are you living together? Bai Yu asked with a smile. At this time, Uzumaki Kushina and Namikaze Minato, who was rubbing his face and putting on his clothes, sat opposite Bai Yu. Uzumaki Kushina's face instantly turned red. Yeah. Namikaze Minato rubbed his face and responded. This response instantly ignited Uzumaki Kushina's ashamed and angry heart. Red hair moved without wind. With his left hand, he clamped Namikaze Minato's neck and said viciously, who is living with you? Speak clearly. It was you who invited me to your house for the new year, and you kept me here on the grounds that there were few tasks. Hey, that's it. You, don't get me wrong, we just eat together, go shopping together, do housework together, and sleep in the same room. Don't think too much. Come on, what is the more you explain, the worse it gets. As soon as Namikaze Minato finished speaking, Uzumaki Kushina increased her strength again. Namikaze Minato looked at Uzumaki Kushina in pain. Uzumaki Kushina then let Namikaze Minato go. Okay, I believe you are innocent, but you are in love. I came here today to invite you to dinner together. Bai Yu said with a smile. Huh, who would fall in love with him? TSK. Uzumaki Kushina turned her face to the side and said proudly, but there was a trace of joy on her face. After a while, Bai Yu, Namikaze Minato, and Uzumaki Kushina came to Konoha Chuanxiang together. Because it was winter, the business of Konoha Chuanxiang was not very hot, but the business of Konoha Hot Pot City was very hot. After this dinner, Bai Yu found that everyone was growing very fast. Especially Narashikaku. His eyes were no longer as lazy as before, but full of calmness and wisdom. However, Bai Yu guessed that Narashikaku must have secretly said in his heart, what a trouble. Everyone did not show any different treatment because of Bai Yu's current status. It was still the same as before, and it was still the same as before, which made Bai Yu very pleased. If there was another way of treatment, because of identity and strength, Bai Yu would never look for them again. The one who surprised Bai Yu the most was Minato Namikaze. I heard from Minato Namikaze that he had already mastered the Flying Thunder God technique, and Uzumaki Kushina was teaching Minato Namikaze the sealing technique. In order to perfectly master the Flying Thunder God technique, the practice of sealing technique is essential. Not only Bai Yu heard it, but others also heard it. Minato, I think that after you and Kushina have learned the sealing technique, you can talk to you. I heard that someone has unlocked the caged bird for the Hyuga clan, and also customized a curse seal. And this curse seal can only be unlocked by yourself, otherwise no one can unlock it. Narashikaku said with a smile. Really? I didn't expect you to have such a high level of attainment in the sealing technique. The caged bird curse seal of the Hyuga clan, even my grandmother can't unlock it. Uzumaki Kushina said in surprise. The author didn't find it, so it's just like that. Haha. Of course. I heard that you first came into contact with the sealing technique when he went to the Hokage. To study your family's sealing technique. Nerishikaku said. Yes. I also based it on the sealing technique of the Uzumaki clan, and then I gained some experience through my own understanding. Bai Yu touched his nose and said, in this case, after Uzumaki Kushina gives me the sealing technique, I will bother you. You don't think I'm annoying then? Namikaze Minato said politely. What's annoying about this? Really? Don't be too polite to me. Bai Yu said proudly. Just when Bai Yu was having a happy party. Somewhere, underground space. Lord Madara, you're awake. A white weirdo was guarding a stone bed. This underground space is very strange. A strange stone statue, a big pipe directly inserted into the back of the person on the bed. The person on the bed is very old. The kind that falls down when touched, and can't get up after falling down. Well, White Zetsu, tell me about the current situation in the ninja world. An old voice, but it does not lose a fascinating spirit. But the words are full of endless coldness. According to our plan, the first step has been successful. The samurai has been transplanted. As for the candidate for the next plan, it has not been found yet. It seems that the Uchiha family has changed. Could it be because Lord Madara fell asleep? Otherwise, you can take a nap and maybe it will change back. Beisetsu said in a silly tone. Madara did not speak. Instead, he opened his eyes and sat up slowly. On his old face, the pair of Manjaki Sharingan was so strange. He is the ancestor of the Uchiha clan. Uchiha Madara. Tell me the details. Madara said coldly. Hi Beisetsu told Uchiha Madara all the big and small things in the ninja world. After hearing this, Uchiha Madara began to ponder. Beisetsu did not speak. After a long time, Bai Yu. Very good. Try his capacity. The blood limit of the Dharma Eye? Interesting. Madara said with a little interest. After speaking, he closed his eyes. Beisetsu's mouth was originally wide, and after hearing what Uchiha Madara said, his mouth opened even wider. Time passed by little. It seemed as if the world was at peace. The village was harmonious and prosperous. The Uchiha clan, in just 1 month, successfully transformed, became the most popular clan in the village. In fact, the principle is very simple. A top student, no matter how good the study is, others think it is a normal thing. But a poor student, from the last to the 10th from the last, that would be surprising. Wow, did that kid cheat? How did he improve so much? It shouldn't be. So, the poor student will become a celebrity for a while. The star of tomorrow. The Uchiha clan is, because the impression of them in the village is extremely low. In recent times, the original arrogance have faded. Only the pride and etiquette of the Uchiha clan have been retained. This has been magnified by everyone. What is the change of the Uchiha clan? What is the Uchiha clan like? And a series of topics have begun to increase gradually. Especially the completion and operation of the Uchiha clan's Konoha amusement park. Instantly ignited the enthusiasm of the people of Konoha. Exclamation mark. What roller coaster? What jumping machine? I have to play it twice in the heavy snow. Of course, this is for ordinary people. For ninjas, there are illusion horror houses. What super weightlessness experience? What extreme aerial relay? Human cannon? And so on. Carousel for children. Treasure hunt. And so on. Games for couples. Shoot guns to win dolls. Archery to win dolls. Couple guessing. And so on. Moreover, Bai Yu's big project for couples fully utilized the identity of the youth of the 21st century. What couple island, love tea restaurant, kissing competition. Such projects and activities. It's just adding fuel to the fire. In the first half of the month since the opening, the funds earned can be called the first in Konoha. Even Sarutobi Hiruzen is jealous. He tried to get Bai Yu to give him some shares many times. But who is Bai Yu? Pretending to be confused is comparable to being really confused. Movie watching experience of the best actor. He deliberately pretended not to understand. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen was pissed off in his heart, he still looked happy. One more chapter. Vote, comment, collect, etc. Hurry up. Hid my face. Don't pity me. Chapter 56. Being ambushed. Soon it was the day for Bai Yu to receive the uniform. After Bai Yu had learned from the previous experience, he looked over his passbook many times. Then he kissed Tsunade goodbye. As soon as Bai Yu left the village gate, he called out Bai Long. Bai Yu definitely didn't call out Bai Long because Tsunade would go to the casino. Instead, he wanted to communicate with Bai Long. The moment Bai Yu saw the uniform, amazing. This was Bai Yu's first reaction. Although it was a Japanese style armor, but it was not the traditional style. Many parts were omitted. Dark silver throughout. Frosted surface. Bright silver pattern. Simple but detailed. Low-key but luxurious. Strong but flexible. Change size through chakra. High defense. The most important dark gold dragon head carving. Show Bai Long's dragon head to the fullest. 10 boxes. Bai Yu put them on Bai Long's body and fixed them. Go home. Bai Yu placed the boxes in the yard. Then, quietly walked to the casino. Near the entrance of the casino, a sharp-eyed staff member saw Lord Bai Yu in the distance, and his face changed drastically. He was about to run into the casino. However, the purple light flashed in front of his eyes. Bai Yu had already appeared in front of him. What are you going to do? Bai Yu said playfully. Lord, I want to go to the toilet. The staff member said in a panic. Humph. What toilet? I think I'm going to report to Tsunade. Bai Yu said unhappily, and ignored the staff, and ran directly to the dice shaking area. The staff member then walked to a corner where no one was, grinning at an amazing angle. Lord Bai Yu, let me see your capacity. Bai Yu walked through the sea of people coming and going, locked on Tsunade, who was standing on one foot on the stool, and shaking the dice with excitement. His face was as hen, turned into a purple lightning. Tsunade saw Bai Yu, instantly dropped the sieve, escaped through the window. A familiar scene in the eyes of others. Bai Yu frowned slightly. He saw a pair of black ninja sandals. Tsunade hasn't worn ninja sandals for a long time. She has always worn the high heels he bought for her. Did she wear them on purpose just to run? It's very possible. Tsunade can do this to avoid gambling money. But is it necessary in Konoha village? Bai Yu felt something was wrong. Tsunade also raised a weird smile. But Bai Yu didn't arrive. Bai Yu didn't speed up, but observed secretly, and even opened the Dharma Eye. The posture is right. The habit is right. Even the chakra is right. But Bai Yu just felt it was weird. After chasing for a long time, Bai Yu decided to ignore it. Whatever you want. He accelerated and appeared in front of Tsunade. Tsunade's eyes were panicked. This was really panicked. She didn't expect Bai Yu's speed to suddenly become so fast. He didn't stop after an emergency stop and rushed into Bai Yu's arms. Bai Yu grinned at Tsunade. What's wrong? You're so flustered. You're actually falling into a trap. That's not like you. Tsunade was in Bai Yu's arms. When she heard Bai Yu's words, she came to her senses instantly. A strange smile appeared on the corner of her mouth. Puff. In Bai Yu's surprised eyes, a shuriken appeared in Tsunade's hand. It was deeply inserted into Bai Yu's left abdomen. Blood gushed out. Just like Koizumi. Bai Yu stared at Tsunade in a daze. Puff. Tsunade in front of Bai Yu was filled with a strange smile. She thrust in and out again. Then she spun around. Bai Yu's eyes darkened, but Bai Yu stabilized his mind instantly. He tapped around the wound several times. The wound was sealed, but it just made the blood flow slower and smaller. Who are you? Bai Yu asked with an extremely cold face. Tsunade couldn't do such a thing. Well, you didn't die like this. No, you didn't faint like this. You're really strong. Tsunade in front of Bai Yu turned into a strange humanoid with a white body. Let me introduce myself. My name is Baizetsu. Hello. Your name is Bai Yu, right? Are we brothers? Aha. Are you also a white like me? Baizetsu said to himself. It really made the eagle peck his eyes. Bai Yu was so angry. If he had been more careful, he would not have been attacked by this disgusting guy. Oh, that's right. At this moment, I should praise you. According to the adult's words, I should say that in terms of vitality, I, Baizetsu, call you the strongest. Ha ha ha. So domineering, Baizetsu said with a smile. Hey, has anyone told you that you are cheap? Bai Yu said coldly. The lightning chakra surged. The Bai Yu sword appeared in his hand in a backhand. A sword energy blessed by chakra slashed towards Baizetsu. Baizetsu raised the shuriken in his hand and fought with Bai Yu. Bai Yu sneered. Swordsmanship. The sword returns to the ruins. The Bai Yu sword first condensed a majestic lightning chakra and then disappeared in an instant. Bai Yu's figure strangely appeared behind Baizetsu. It was as if nothing had happened. But a moment later, Baizetsu's body was split into two. Bai Yu's ability is very strong. He didn't even use ninjutsu. Baizetsu's half of the body said, and his eyes lost their spirit. A small pool of white liquid quietly flowed into the ground, and Bai Yu didn't notice it. Rubbish. TSK. Hiss, I'm so unlucky. Bai Yu performed healing magic. Healed his wounds from the sneak attack. After a long time, except for the blood on his clothes, the wounds had scabbed. Who is this guy? So cruel. If I didn't have healing magic, my kidney would be gone. I'm going. After Bai Yu treated the wound, he walked towards home cursing. Huh. Lady Tsunade. Didn't Lord Bai Yu just chase you? What's wrong with you? The staff saw Tsunade and was stunned. He saw Tsunade escaping through the window just now. What? You is back. Tsunade heard this and ran home. Damn it. Damn surgery. How did you come back so quickly? Tsunade cursed as she ran. This is the real Tsunade. Because of the surgery, some time was delayed. Otherwise, the big fat sheep would have been in place long ago. Bai Yu walked on the street with a gloomy face. Nonsense. Who can be in a good mood after being attacked by a scumbag? But at this moment, a beautiful figure ran over from a distance. Tsunade. Seeing Bai Yu, Tsunade breathed a sigh of relief. But seeing Bai Yu's gloomy face and the blood on his abdomen, his face changed and his speed couldn't help but increase a few points. You, how did you do this? Tsunade hurriedly asked. Stop. Who are you? Bai Yu vigilantly drew out the Bai Yu sword and asked in front of him. I'm Tsunade. What's wrong with you? You. Tsunade felt sour in her heart for Bai Yu's performance, but she still asked worriedly. Don't you even remember me? Tsunade said, holding back the bitterness in her heart. Of course I know. Tsunade is my wife. Then let me ask you, who is my father? Bai Yu asked vigilantly. Didn't your village get massacred? How would I know? You didn't tell me. Tsunade said anxiously. Then let me ask you. Last time you gambled away all the money I saved. How did I punish you? Bai Yu asked half doubtfully. You. Tsunade said with a blushing face. Answer me. Bai Yu said seriously. From the afternoon until the next morning. It never stopped. Tsunade's face flushed with a somewhat resentful look. She looked at Bai Yu and said in a low voice. Chapter 57 Telepathy. Dharma Eye. Open. Bai Yu vigilantly sensed the surroundings. Let's talk about it when we get home. Holding Tsunade's hand, he walked home. Tsunade looked at Bai Yu's appearance and said nothing. But his face was still red. After returning home, Bai Yu set up a soundproof magic circle. He told what had just happened. What? You actually went to the casino to catch me? Tsunade said angrily. No, Tsunade, can you pay attention to the point? Bai Yu said helplessly. What's the point? Tsunade said embarrassedly. Bai Yu shook his head and pointed to the blood on his abdomen. Oh, yes, kidney. Are your kidneys broken? Don't worry, I won't leave you because of this. Tsunade looked at the blood scab on Bai Yu's abdomen. As a medical ninja, she knew very well where it was. Holding Bai Yu's hand, she said affectionately. My kidneys are very good. I can punish you 10 more times. The point is that there was a guy in white just now who perfectly impersonated you. He attacked me by surprise. Bai Yu said helplessly, still feeling a little indignant. Bai Yu was extremely unhappy about the sneak attack. It is necessary to report this matter to the old man. Tsunade blushed first, then said seriously. Well, I'll go after changing clothes. Bai Yu nodded and said. I'll go. You have a good rest at home. I'll be back soon. Tsunade said, smiling. She walked to the door, put on her high heels, and pushed the door open and left. Bai Yu smiled sweetly, changed clothes, and prepared dinner. You said that Bai Yu, who was seriously injured, could kill you with just swordsmanship? He didn't even release ninjutsu? Uchiha said thoughtfully. Yes. I wonder if he is my brother? His name is Bai Yu, and my name is Baizetsu. Baizetsu said, standing next to Uchiha intact. It seems necessary for me to test Bai Yu's ability myself. Uchiha Madara ignored the second half of Beizetsu's words and said, "Wow, Lord Madara, are you going to do it yourself? But it seems that your body can't support high-intensity combat for long." Beizetsu said, "HMPH, that's enough." Uchiha Madara closed his eyes again after saying that. After having dinner with Tsunade, sitting alone on the steps at the junction of the house and the yard, drinking tea, thinking about the dragon group. In the past, Bai Yu only wanted to make a force similar to the Ember or the Root. Anyway, there is a task system, and every day I just do tasks, kill secretly, and protect important people. I just need to grasp the intelligence and control the overall situation in the office every day. However, when Bai Yu learned about the underground exchange, that is, the black market, his thoughts changed. And after seeing that guy named Beizetsu, who was all white, Bai Yu felt that he was too stable now. He only thought about Konoha and didn't think about the entire ninja world at all. That guy named Beizetsu is really amazing. He can actually escape my perception. Bai Yu thought to himself. This kind of person can transform himself, perfectly disguise his chakra, and imitate other people's habits and small details. There is no solution at all. If only I had the great sage's fiery eyes and golden pupils. Before the enemy, he shouted, "Monster. In front of my old son's fiery eyes and golden pupils. Why don't you quickly change back to your original form?" Then he blinked his sleepy eyes quickly a few times, and the golden eye shadow emitted a shiny and bright light. Bai Yu drank a sip of tea and thought helplessly. Listen to what that guy said about adults. It seems that there are others behind him. Is this guy really dead? Split in half. This guy didn't bleed. Could it be a clone? But that guy didn't disappear for a long time. I don't know if the so-called adult has this disgusting white object under his hands. Bai Yu really wanted to shout, "White Zetsu. I can see at a glance that you are not a human. But, hey, should I use fire to smoke my eyes?" But Bai Yu gave up this idea instantly. It's impossible to smoke blind. Is there any way to distinguish the authenticity of a person? This is almost as good as the real and fake monkey king. If only there was an eating. Listen to the voices of the world and see through the good and evil in people's hearts. Wait, good and evil? Bai Yu seemed to have grasped something. But I had no clue for a while. I couldn't help but want to pull my hair. Tsunade had just finished cleaning up the dishes and sat next to Bai Yu, leaning her head on Bai Yu's shoulder. "You, what are you thinking about?" Tsunade asked softly. "It's still the thing that pretended to be you and attacked me. I'm thinking about how to find it. His hiding ability is simply perfect. If only I could find a way to distinguish between good and evil. No matter how well a person hides, he can't hide the good and evil in his heart." Bai Yu said helplessly. "Good and evil? I know that the Uzumaki clan not only has extraordinary chakra, but can also sense good and evil." Tsunade thought for a while and said, "What a pity. I'm not from the Uzumaki clan." Bai Yu said helplessly. "Okay, I can't help you this time." Tsunade also said helplessly. "It's okay. Just help me get rid of the boredom in my heart." Bai Yu raised a wicked smile. Late at night, Bai Yu sat on the steps refreshed. "Xiao Bei, do you know any way to know the good and evil of others?" Bai Yu remembered that Bailong once said that it had recovered its memory and asked hurriedly. "I know. There are several ways. But as far as you are concerned, these methods cannot be completed." Bailong said. "Oh, why?" Bai Yu asked puzzled. "The most direct way is to reach the level of 6 paths. At this level, even if someone stabs you with a knife, it may not be able to break your skin. Unfortunately, you are only an early Jonin now." Bailong said. "Xiao Bei, can we talk about some practical stuff? Don't talk about those trivial things." Bai Yu couldn't help but complain. Okay, I know there is an ability called telepathy. This ability can be cultivated." Bailong said. "Mind reading? That would be awesome. If anyone curses me in their heart, I will definitely slap him." Bai Yu said excitedly. "Don't be naive. This ability is just a very low level ability, but it happens to be able to distinguish between good and evil. It is one of the innate abilities of deer. This ability can be cultivated through acquired training. It takes 10 years." Bailong said. "I'll spit blood on you." 10 years? Bai Yu said in shock. "Well, Actually, it doesn't have to be that troublesome. Bailong continued to say leisurely. Oh my god. You are my brother. Tell me quickly. Bai Yu said helplessly. He can communicate with others, and the most important thing is to concentrate his mind. Communicate the breath between heaven and earth. People have joy, anger, sorrow, and happiness, 7 emotions and 6 desires, and every flower and grass in the world has its own breath. The Dharma Eye can communicate with heaven and earth. You concentrate and calm down, open the Dharma Eye, and seriously feel and communicate with the various breaths between heaven and earth. As for how long it will take, that depends on you. Bailong said leisurely. Okay, I get it. Next time, get straight to the point and don't dither. Bai Yu said, then touch the bed. Chapter 58 Dragon Group Selection. Ever since Bailong said that he had the ability of telepathy, Bai Yu has been keeping his Dharma Eye open. As the saying goes, practice makes perfect. And Bai Yu has also thought about a series of problems for the Dragon Group. The Dragon Group only accepts 200 people. Each one must be an elite. The strength must be at or above the level of Jonin. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen saw that Konoha was getting better and better, he issued many new regulations for ninjas. But Bai Yu decided to ignore him. If the village didn't have so many Jonin joining the Dragon Group, Bai Yu would rather have nothing than something mediocre. Days passed, and Konoha welcomed the summer. Although Bai Yu's Dragon Group base was built, and the empty identity token was made, even Hatake Tsukumo had sent people to complete the establishment of Konoha's task system. But now there are only 2 people in the Dragon Group. Bai Yu and his secretary Uchiha Makoto. The reason is that Bai Yu has not started recruiting members yet. Master Bai Yu, when will you start recruiting members for the Dragon Group? Uchiha Makoto and Bai Yu sat leisurely on the huge training ground. Although Uchiha Makoto enjoyed being alone with Bai Yu, she was secretly worried about Bai Yu's dragon team. I'm thinking of a way to recruit suitable members for the dragon team. Better to have nothing than to have something unqualified. Bai Yu said with a smile, and the take-eye patterns in his eyes changed and flowed. Okay. However, there are more and more tasks assigned to the dragon team. Uchiha Makoto looked at Bai Yu's smiling face and felt relieved. More talents mean there is work to do. Why hasn't Shimura Danzo made any moves recently? Bai Yu asked with a smile. I heard that Lord Danzo and Lord Orochimaru have been very close recently. Uchiha Makoto thought for a while and said, you said, I will spread the news that the dragon team has started recruiting members. Will anyone come to join? I'm really afraid that no one will join by then. Bai Yu said self-deprecatingly, and then laughed. Master Bai Yu, you underestimate your appeal now. Just based on the title of the hero of the Second Ninja World War, many people already admire you, Master Bai Yu. Not to mention the titles of Konoha Death God, Purple Flash, Tailed Beast Slayer, etc. Uchiha Makoto saw Bai Yu's look and said hurriedly. In Uchiha Makoto's heart, Bai Yu is the most perfect person in the world. And during the days when Uchiha Makoto was alone with Bai Yu, she felt something strange inexplicably in her heart. Especially when she saw Bai Yu and Tsunade holding hands, or when Tsunade occasionally brought her and Bai Yu lunch, she felt inexplicably sad. This also made Uchiha Makoto understand that she had. It's a pity that in Uchiha Makoto's heart, Bai Yu is definitely a wooden guy. But I don't know that a certain old yin dog has already seen through everything. Just pretend not to know, not clear. For Uchiha Makoto, Bai Yu said that he didn't like it. That was absolutely nonsense. Gentle, considerate, understanding, hardworking. Not only is she beautiful and has a good figure, but she also has the feeling of a gentle older sister. Bai Yu is not greedy for her body. Slurp. Absolutely not. However, Bai Yu is a person with a bottom line. A man who says he is not lustful. 9 out of 10 are just pretending, and the remaining 1 is not okay. But a real man will be lustful in moderation. Be able to grasp this scale. Bai Yu already has Tsunade, so if Tsunade doesn't say anything, even if Bai Yu loves her to death, he won't do something that makes people feel happy. Little did he know that Tsunade had already seen through everything. Otherwise, with Tsunade's personality, would she come to deliver food? It's better to go find happiness. After all, Tsunade is a woman. It turns out that my popularity is so high. I really didn't expect it. Bai Yu said with a smile. There are so many things you can't think of. Many girls in the village want to pursue Bai Yu. There are also many girls who envy your love with Tsunade. Uchiha Makoto said with a strong heart. You are one of them. Bai Yu said in his heart, smiled on his face, and didn't say anything, but lay on the ground, looking at the blue sky. Makoto, I have an idea, which is to hold a recruitment selection. You see, many people are concerned about their original units or families. And we would rather have nothing than something bad. Why not hold a recruitment selection under the guise of the dragon group only recruiting the strongest and most outstanding ninjas? In this way, ninjas who want to join will also participate in the selection on the grounds that they want to prove that they are the best ninjas. Even if they fail, they have a reason to prove their loyalty to their original units or families. And if they pass the selection, those who want to join will be able to do so naturally, and those who don't want to join will not be included. What do you think? Bai Yu said, looking at Uchiha Makoto's curvy back. Master Bai Yu is really thoughtful. Do you want me to work out a process? Uchiha Makoto said with a smile. Of course, you are a veteran of the dragon group. Hurry up and get busy. Bai Yu said with a smile. Then should I publicize the news of the dragon group's recruitment and selection? Uchiha Makoto rolled her eyes at Bai Yu and said. It seems that choosing you as my secretary is the right thing to do. If there is something, the secretary will do it. If there is nothing else, cough cough. Thank you for your hard work, Makoto. Bai Yu felt that he had gone off track and immediately changed his tone and said, okay. Uchiha Makoto left happily. Finally, I can do something for Bai Yu. Uchiha Makoto said that her heart was filled. Very satisfied. How should the breath between heaven and earth be communicated? Bai Yu opens the Dharma Eye every day to feel the breath around him. But Bai Yu can't feel anything except natural energy. Not all. For example, Bai Yu can feel the hidden space in this world by using the power of the Dharma Eye. And Bai Yu also successfully talked with an old toad named Toad Immortal. And the chat was very pleasant. It's just that this old toad seems to love to sleep, and he always falls silent after chatting for a few words. And Bai Yu also found that the spirit world is actually a very interesting place. Once when Bai Yu communicated with the spirit world, he suddenly discovered the god of death. It is the guy summoned by the sealing technique called Shikifujin recorded in the Uzumaki clan. The funny thing is that this guy wants to eat Bai Yu's soul. If you were summoned, Bai Yu might be a little bit afraid. But you dare to eat me in front of the Dharma Eye? Bai Yu expressed great disdain. Sure enough, the knife in the mouth of the god of death scratched Bai Yu's spiritual body, as if scratching on titanium alloy. It can't be scratched. After Bai Yu said a Chinese curse in the spiritual language, under the gaze of the god of death's dead fish eyes, Bai Yu leisurely withdrew his spiritual body from the spiritual world. And the god of death was thinking, who is this guy? So arrogant. Uchiha Makoto is worthy of being from a big family, and she is also a kind of woman who helps the wife. The recruitment and selection process and the publicity plan were made so perfect. Bai Yu couldn't help but think of that year. He was dragged by some people to find happiness, and the next day he went home, as if he was hollowed out. Thinking about it, Bai Yu felt that night was his most painful night. It was really the beginning of a storm. Let me tell you quietly, Bai Yu will start to make trouble again soon. Exclamation mark. Chapter 59 The selection begins. The news of the dragon group's recruitment swept the entire Konoha like the momentum of a locust attack. There is no need to promote it at all. Bai Yu's popularity has always been very strong. Everyone in Konoha village knows that the Second Ninja World War ended quickly because of Bai Yu's sudden appearance. If it weren't for Bai Yu, I don't know when it would end. Seeing this scene, Uchiha Makoto once lamented that she had thought too much about the publicity step. Has the dragon group finally started recruiting? But Bai Yu's selection method is really novel. Sarutobi Hiruzen said secretly while smoking his pipe. You know, the Anbu has always been the holy land in the hearts of Konoha ninjas. Ninjas who can enter the Anbu are undoubtedly excellent. As for the route, it's better not to mention it. Danzo, have you heard? Yujun's dragon group has started recruiting. There is also a selection. It seems very interesting. In a dark laboratory, Orochimaru smiled and said to Shimura Danzo, who closed his eyes and rested, HMPH, don't test my attitude here. I know you have some feelings for Bai Yu. But with Bai Yu's current strength, you can't do anything to him. And you should work hard on studying the first generation of cells now. When Shimura Danzo heard Bai Yu's words, his face darkened, and he walked away with a wave of his sleeves. Oh, he walked away with a wave of his sleeves. HMPH. Although Orochimaru was smiling, he was hiding murderous intent. The selection venue for the dragon group was set up in the Death Forest. Bai Yu paid for this place, and Uchiha Makoto supervised and set up a venue overnight. There were also many people who signed up. What Bai Yu didn't expect was that many people from the Anbu signed up. This made Sarutobi Hiruzen and Hatake Tsukumo, who came to observe, a little embarrassed. Although the Anbu usually wear masks and others don't know, these two people know it clearly. Moreover, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Hatake Tsukumo are not embarrassed. Look at Shimura Danzo in the corner, his face is black. 3 of his root members also came quietly. The rest were all jonin from various families in Konoha village, and civilian jonin. Every jonin was very well educated. They stood in a neat and uniform manner under the platform. On the platform were the senior officials who came to observe. At this moment, a purple light quickly rushed from the back of the team. In an instant, a dazzling light passed through everyone's eyes. The light went straight into the wall in front of the platform. This is a double-edged sword! Exclamation mark. The white feather sword. The purple light quickly jumped up and landed steadily on the white feather sword. This gorgeous operation blinded everyone's eyes. Master Bai Yu. Konoha Death God. Purple flash. I love you. Master Bai Yu. The originally neat and uniform team below the stage was instantly boiling! Exclamation mark. This bragging. Hatake Tsukumo couldn't help but complain in his heart. This kind of appearance is really impressive. Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled and said softly, then wanted to take out his pipe, but stopped the action, because it was not appropriate to smoke now, when he was observing. Humph. As the saying goes, enemies are particularly jealous when they meet. Shimura Danzo's originally black face became even darker. It was comparable to a black hole. Bai Yu took a look, and sure enough, the Enbu and the Root signed up for the selection. There were some indescribable emotions on the faces of Hatake Tsukumo and Sarutobi Hiruzen, although they were well hidden. Shimura Danzo, who cares about him? Bai Yu looked at the boiling crowd and the relatives who came next to him. Bai Yu waved his hand. The scene was quiet in an instant. Everyone, thank you for your kindness. Today is the selection day for my dragon team. There are many people coming. It seems that everyone recognizes me. I was thinking that if 1 or 2 people who think highly of me can come today, I will be thankful. Bai Yu said self-deprecatingly. But it is very popular. The people in the audience smiled when they heard it. This kid is quite capable. The top brass were different. After hearing Bai Yu's words, they all felt that Bai Yu had his own way in politics. However, everyone's recognition of me also made me a little flustered. After all, the dragon group only recruits 200 members. But the members who belong to the Anbu stand out. Of course, your identities are kept secret. If you want to join the dragon group, just stand out. Note that it belongs to the Anbu. Even the dragon group belongs to the Anbu. Think about it and stand out. Bai Yu's face then changed from kind to serious. Swish, swish. 10 ninjas appeared in front of the team in an instant. Their faces were firm. They looked at Bai Yu with fanatical eyes. For a moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Hatake Tsukumo looked much better. Fortunately, not all the Anbu members who signed up stood out. But Shimura Danzo was different. The 3 root members who came to sign up all stood out. Very good. Let me ask again, are there any more? Bai Yu said seriously. Bai Yu paused for a while. Seeing that no ninja stood up, he said, okay. Since there is no one left, then I will continue. You 10. Join the dragon group directly. Bai Yu said decisively. The 10 ninjas were excited and looked at Bai Yu in disbelief. Exclamation mark. Suddenly, there was an uproar in the audience. It's not fair. Exclamation mark. Why? We are all so excellent. Exclamation mark. Yes. Why? Be quiet. Exclamation mark. Bai Yu shouted loudly. Everyone was also very respectful and did not speak, quietly waiting for Bai Yu's words. We are Konoha! Exclamation mark. Who doesn't know that the members of the Anbu are not only excellent, and everyone has a high merit value? Who doesn't know? This is one. The 10 of them dare to stand up. It shows that they are very courageous, and their belief in following me is even stronger. The members of the Anbu are all confidential. Even I don't know who is a member of the Anbu. You can definitely jump out and pretend. When Bai Yu said this, the audience was boiling again. Master Bai Yu was clearly talking about the Anbu members. I'm not one. Why would I jump out? That's right. I don't accept this reason. Okay. Ninja, follow orders. This is very good. And it's true. But members of my dragon group must not only follow orders, but also be flexible and have their own opinions. If you go to the battlefield and your superior orders you to die for no reason, will you go? Some people say that, if you follow orders, I'm willing to die. But what I want to say is, every member of my dragon group is my Bai Yu's brother. I will not give such a stupid order. If the sacrifice is meaningful, it is acceptable, but going to die for no reason, it is not allowed. Also, if your superior dies on the battlefield, whose orders do you listen to? Every member of the dragon group is a superior. Every member of the dragon group is a companion. Not only must they be strong individually, but they must also have team spirit. Even if the superior dies suddenly, they will not panic because of the superior's sacrifice. Instead, they will calmly think about what they should do. Finally, didn't you see that at the beginning? Brother Hatake's face almost turned green. If I didn't accept the members of the Anbu, if I didn't join the dragon group, but returned to the Anbu in disgrace, what if Brother Hatake secretly made trouble for me? Of course, this is impossible! Exclamation mark. Haha. Brother Hatake, sit down! Exclamation mark. What are you doing with the knife? Put it away quickly! Exclamation mark. At this point, the audience immediately accepted Bai Yu's words and laughed! Exclamation mark. Hatake Tsukumo sat back in his seat with a dark face. Okay, no more nonsense. Everyone fights on their own, no matter what means or methods. Find the token engraved with the dragon group in the Death Forest and return here in 3 days. There are only 200 tokens. But no killing is allowed. By the way, you 10 brothers, do you want me to find 10 tokens and then collect them? Bai Yu was serious when he said this. He really wanted to collect them. However, these 10 people said with disdain on their faces, no need. Such a small matter. Don't bother Lord Bai Yu. We will collect it ourselves. A young man with a stern face said, and ran to the Death Forest first. The 9 people who won also realized something and ran quickly. These guys are really smart. Bai Yu was stunned, and then smiled lightly. Fuck. Quick. Oh my. Shameless. There are many smart guys in the crowd. They all ran to the Death Forest. First come first served. Bai Yu emphasized the need to be flexible, and the requirements have been made clear. So why not seize the opportunity? Of course, there are still many ninjas who stayed in place. I don't know what happened. Bai Yu said helplessly. The selection begins. Those ninjas ran to the Death Forest. The selection of the dragon group is officially opened. Friends, get excited. Suhei suhei! Exclamation mark. Dear readers, if you keep the votes in your hands, you won't have babies, right? If you don't like it, throw your votes at me. If you like it, throw your votes at me too. Today, the humble author is very arrogant. I really deserve to be thrown at. Chapter 60 Explosive Emotions. Bai Yu did not watch the selection process. Instead, he had a passionate conversation with the senior executives and returned home. The selection lasted for 3 days. You're back. How was the selection? Tsunade asked when she saw Bai Yu coming back. Didn't you go to the hospital today? It went very smoothly and lasted for 3 days. I can go there in 3 days. Mikoto is watching over there, Bai Yu said while taking off his shoes. During this period, the hospital has been stable, so I don't need to go there all the time. I can go there once in a while. From what you said, Mikoto is still very capable. Tsunade smiled meaningfully on her face. Yes. It seems that I made the right choice to ask her to be my secretary. Bai Yu thought of Uchiha Mikoto and couldn't help but smile. How is she? Tsunade said as she sat next to Bai Yu. Haven't you met her? Bai Yu said. I've only met her a few times. I can't spend as much time with her as you do. Tsunade rolled her eyes at Bai Yu and said. Uchiha Mikoto. She is very gentle and considerate, very serious, rigorous, and comprehensive in her work. She is kind-hearted. I have observed traces of self-training on her body, which shows that she works very hard. She is a very good girl. She is also fair-skinned, beautiful, and has a good figure. She has big eyes, black hair, a small mouth, a sweet voice, is introverted and cute, and has a soft and exquisite S-shaped figure. Of course, this is what Bai Yu said in his heart. And I have to emphasize again, that Bai Yu is not greedy for her body. Besides, it seems that Mikoto has a special feeling for you. Tsunade said with a smile. Tsunade's smile was still so beautiful, but at this time Bai Yu felt cold all over. What are you talking about? I already have you. I said, why are you asking me this? Bai Yu said pretentiously. We have been together for so long. How could I not understand you? The way you look at me is only a little different from the way you look at Mikoto. Tsunade said leisurely. What's the difference? Bai Yu asked curiously. When you look at me, your eyes are full of tenderness and love. It's the same when you look at Mikoto. The difference is that when you look at me, the emotion in your eyes is so direct and undisguised. But when you look at Mikoto, it's full of restraint. Tsunade said with an expression that saw through everything. Ha. How is it possible? Impossible. It feels really bad to be exposed. Bai Yu was afraid that Tsunade would be angry or say something that Bai Yu didn't like to hear, so he smiled and said, and was about to go back to the house. I don't mind it. Tsunade said calmly. Bai Yu stopped moving and didn't speak. I'm older than you. Your situation is different. Age is just a number for you. But it's not a number for me. When I'm old and ugly, you'll still be young. When I die, you'll still be strong. Mikoto is only a few years older than you. She can accompany you longer. I'll feel at ease with her by your side. Because she's a good girl. I really love you. So I hope you live well. For you, I cannot marry you. You can marry Mikoto. I can move out. I promise you that I will be yours for the rest of my life. I just hope you still have me in your heart and come to see me occasionally. That's enough. A tear fell across Tsunade's cheek. Tick. The tears dripped onto the ground. But Tsunade's eyes were full of no regrets. She was smiling all the time. Bullshit. Bai Yu was very moved when he heard this. But a sense of irritation also surged into his chest. But this irritation was not because of Tsunade's words, but because of the indescribable emotion. So much so that he swore. Tsunade. How could I, Bai Yu, do what you said? I, Bai Yu, would never do such a shameless thing. I admit that I have love for Uchiha Mikoto. But you, Tsunade, are the first person to take care of me after I became an orphan. You always think about me. Help me with advice. In my heart, you have long been my wife. The future you are talking about does not exist at all. In my future, not only you, but also Mikoto. Both of you are my wives. All of you. I will not allow you to think like that again. Absolutely not. I must have you and Mikoto by my side. Not one less. Only children can choose. Humph. Bai Yu was also surprisingly domineering for once. Bai Yu stood straight, with a domineering look on his face that he had never seen before. He looked at Tsunade's beautiful eyes seriously and sincerely. It was also the first time that Tsunade saw Bai Yu being so domineering to her, not counting when they were fighting. A hint of obsession, a bit of happiness, a little sweetness. Tsunade's heartbeat accelerated for a while. Her mind was filled with Bai Yu's domineering face. Outside the Bai mansion, a young girl covered her mouth tightly to prevent herself from making any sound. But the shock and joy in her eyes could not be concealed. The girl simply covered her mouth, quietly left the door of the Bai mansion, and ran towards the Uchiha clan. This girl was Uchiha Mikoto, who was going to report on her work. After returning home, Uchiha Mikoto excitedly dived into bed. Her breathing was rapid, and the excitement in her heart was indescribable. Late at night, Tsunade and Bai Yu were lying in bed. When are you going to talk to Mikoto about it? Tsunade said lazily. Ha. I'm not good at this kind of thing. I'll find an opportunity later. Bai Yu touched his nose and said, not good at it? I don't know who was so disregarding at the beginning just to find me and see if I was safe. It's very touching. Tsunade joked in a lazy tone. Isn't that a war? War is so dangerous. Haha. Bai Yu said awkwardly. Cut it. Come on. You sand ninja, you actually dared to hurt my people. Damn it. Who is your people? You said it in public. Tsunade continued to tease. I was just anxious because I saw you injured. You, humph. Dare to tease me. I will punish you according to the family rules. Bai Yu said angrily. The next day, Uchiha Mikoto came to Bai's house with a sweet smile on her face. Uchiha Mikoto knew Bai Yu's inner thoughts, but Bai Yu didn't know that Uchiha Mikoto knew Bai Yu's inner thoughts. So Bai Yu thought that Uchiha Mikoto didn't know his thoughts, but in fact, Uchiha Mikoto knew Bai Yu's inner thoughts. You are all confused. I'm so happy to be naughty. It's not a waste of words. Don't think about it wrongly. Every chapter has a few hundred more words after 1,000 words. Uchiha Mikoto came to Bai's house and saw Tsunade, who was wearing home clothes and had a mature temperament. She called her sister, and Tsunade called her a good sister. Except for the beginning, she smiled and greeted Bai Yu, reported the progress of the selection, and said a few words. The two women behind him ignored Bai Yu and started chatting about women's topics, and they were getting more and more excited. It was as if they had met each other too late. Bai Yu was also happy to see this. Sitting in the yard and feeling the breath of heaven and earth, as Bai Long said. It was a mysterious feeling. It was as if the whole world was me, but I was not the whole world. It was as if every flower, grass, and even stone was an independent life. They were all telling Bai Yu something, but it was as if Bai Yu was just himself. There was no clue, no trace. In the end, Bai Yu fell asleep, but he didn't fall asleep. Chapter 61. The selection is over. Hiruzen. You can't let Bai Yu become stronger. Think about the originally peaceful Hyuga clan and the Uchiha clan that has been under surveillance and can be controlled. Because of Bai Yu, they have become active. More and more people from the Hyuga clan are participating in the battle, and the demand for supplies has also increased. And the Uchiha clan has completely focused on Bai Yu. Didn't you see it yesterday? Most of the senior ninjas who came to participate in the dragon group selection are from the Uchiha clan. Even people from other families participated in the dragon group selection. What does this show? This shows that Bai Yu's influence in the village is getting bigger and bigger. Shimura Danzo stood in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen's desk, passionate. Isn't it good to have a high influence? The village needs such vitality now. Besides, don't the clans also restrict each other? Although Sarutobi Hiruzen said this, the old fox was thinking about Shimura Danzo's words in his heart. However, Sarutobi Hiruzen was not going to listen to Shimura Danzo's words. He thought that Bai Yu's approach was right. Bai Yu is a person full of the will of fire. Maybe he is really old. Sarutobi Hiruzen knew what Shimura Danzo was thinking, which was nothing more than taking control of everything in his own hands. But Shimura Danzo's approach was too extreme, and Shimura Danzo now looked down on Sarutobi Hiruzen less and less. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt tangled again. Hey, old friend. Hiruzen, you are really old. You wouldn't be so hesitant before. No matter what you say, I won't let Bai Yu go on like this. Shimura Danzo said, and then walked out of Sarutobi Hiruzen's office. Hey, forget it. Sarutobi Hiruzen originally wanted to stop Shimura Danzo and tell him not to go too far, but when he thought that there were not many old friends around him now, he suppressed the anger in his heart. But in a flash, Sarutobi Hiruzen asked himself in his heart, am I really old? Back to the dark office. Shimura Danzo began to think gloomily. The Hyuga clan simply couldn't seize the opportunity. The Uchiha clan could still be manipulated before, but now the reputation of the Uchiha clan in the village has begun to improve, and they act completely differently from before, so it's not easy to take action. However, Bai Yu. Shimura Danzo raised a sneer at the corner of his mouth. On the day when the selection ended, the senior management attended again. Behind Bai Yu was a large box full of Dragon Group light armor uniforms, and a box containing Dragon Group identity tokens. Bai Yu was wearing the black light armor that he bought from the uncle in the ninja tool shop. looking at the 200 ninjas in front of him. Except for the Tenenbu ninjas, none of the other 190 people were clean. The clothes were covered with dust and cuts. Dozens of people were even bloodstained. Makoto, are there any casualties? Bai Yu looked at the ninjas in front of him who were neatly standing with their heads held high. He asked Uchiha Makoto, who was holding a roster next to him. No. Uchiha Makoto said seriously, while wearing the white light armor for women that Bai Yu bought from the uncle in the ninja tool shop. Of course, Bai Yu also bought one for Tsunade. You can't forget your old love just because you have a new one. Ahem. It's not a new love yet. Very good. Bai Yu said loudly. Then he looked at the failed ninja over there. Brothers, thank you for your recognition of me. Bai Yu. Each of you can get a special card from Uchiha Makoto in 7 days. With this card, as long as it is related to my Bai Yu, you can enjoy a 35% discount. Thank you for your recognition of me. Bai Yu bowed deeply to the failed ninja after speaking. Makoto, I'll leave this to you. Bai Yu then stood up and said to Uchiha Makoto, don't worry, Lord Bai Yu. Uchiha Makoto was very happy and said seriously, Master Bai Yu, I will always recognize you. Master Bai Yu, you are my idol. Master Bai Yu, this kid is really good at winning people's hearts. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Bai Yu and said in his heart, good boy. This is a beautiful move. I'm afraid that not only the selected ninjas will be devoted to him, but even the hearts of the unselected ninjas. Bai Yu will occupy a large position in their hearts. Hatake Tsukumo narrowed his eyes and said secretly in his heart, Humph. Shimura Danzo, this birdman. Brothers, I'm proud of you. Each of you will receive a set of light armor and an identity token. Brothers who were originally from the Anbu, please pay attention. Makoto, you organize it. After speaking, Bai Yu walked in front of the 10 people. He used chakra to wander around the 10 people, and the seals engraved on their bodies were found. Moreover, Bai Yu found that 3 people had seals under their tongues. Seeing the technique of eradicating tongue disasters, Bai Yu looked down on him. He not only looked down on the technique, but also looked down on the person. Use language as a medium and chakra as a bridge. A mysterious spell was chanted from Bai Yu's mouth. A ball of soft light lit up on the 10 people, and in a moment, the sealing technique was completely untied. Of course, this can also happen without any signs when the sealing technique is performed. If it is performed, there are also traces to follow. If the ninja has strong combat experience, the magic spell can be avoided. If the magic spell is really that powerful, Bai Yu would have dominated the ninja world long ago. Come on, listen to me recite a rap. Surrender quickly. The 10 people looked at Bai Yu in disbelief, their eyes full of heat. Haha, it doesn't feel good to be restrained. Isn't freedom very comfortable? It's not good to be able to scold that old dog Danzo. Hey, you will feel good today. Bai Yu approached the 10 people and said in a low voice. The 10 people did not speak, but the eagerness and heat in their eyes proved everything. Hatake Tsukumo, Sarutobi Hiruzen, and Shimura Danzo on the stage were livid. Especially Danzo. He did a lot of things that cannot be said. Just because of the seal on his body, he can be so unscrupulous. Now that Bai Yu broke the seal in front of him, he couldn't sit still. But after looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen beside him, he still held back. Hatake Tsukumo and Sarutobi Hiruzen were completely happy because of the feeling of being slapped in the face. After a long time, the distribution was completed. Each ninja held 2 items in his hand, a light armor in the left hand and a token in the right hand. And when the light armor was displayed in front of everyone couldn't sit still. Especially the top leaders. This light armor not only involves conductive metals, but also metals such as live steel. You must know that every material of this armor is a basic strategic material. Originally, when everyone saw Bai Yu and Uchiha Makoto wearing it, they were just like that. Now all the 200 members of the Dragon Group have it. It's different. Every member selected for the Dragon Group, no matter who they are, is extremely excited, and their hands holding the light armor are shaking. It's unbelievable. All received. Please invite our greatest Hokage to speak to us. Bai Yu looked at the expressions of the crowd and felt comfortable. This is the feeling I want. Is this all there is to it? Just by looking at the materials? Wait until I instill some ideas in these 200 people, give them some special training, and then let them walk around the village in light armor. Then you can see. I guarantee you will be even more excited. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 60 Tsunade Danzo's actions. Sarutobi Hiruzen is really an extraordinary Hokage. An impassioned speech made everyone's blood boil. A brainwashing of the will of fire made everyone look at Sarutobi Hiruzen with a heavy face. It was as if everyone was the fire that set the prairie on fire. Then, he praised Bai Yu's achievements again, and then said that Bai Yu was a representative of the will of fire. In the final summary, he successfully shifted everyone's eager eyes from Bai Yu to himself. I want to be a man like Hokage. Sarutobi Hiruzen successfully rekindled everyone's yearning and enthusiasm for Hokage with his eloquent tongue. And everyone forgot to eat lunch, just intoxicated by listening to Sarutobi Hiruzen's brainwashing. It's finally over. Bai Yu moved his stiff neck and dizzy brain. Everyone, gather at the Dragon Team base at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Don't tell me you don't know. I will organize several activities for the title of the best ninja later. Don't worry. Finally, I declare, the Dragon Team selection is successfully completed. Bai Yu finished work and returned home tired. Uchiha Mikoto was busy with the task assigned to her by Bai Yu. Bai Yu's fatigue came from Sarutobi Hiruzen's brainwashing. Tsunade rubbed Bai Yu's head very considerately. I will follow you to work at the Dragon Team base in the future? Tsunade said while rubbing. Why do you suddenly want to go to my place? Doesn't Konoha Hospital care? Bai Yu was stunned when he heard it. No, there are so many excellent medical ninjas in the hospital, so I don't have to go all the time. Besides, Mikoto has done a lot for you now. I want to help you too. Why don't you want me to destroy your world of two people? Tsunade said with some strength in both hands. Be gentle, my head is about to explode. Of course not. I will definitely be happy if you can go to the Dragon Group. With your title as one of the 3 ninjas of Konoha, plus your strength and rich experience, I can't wait for you to go. Although Mikoto is serious and excellent, she is not as good as you in management. I'm the captain of the Dragon Group now. If you go, you will be the deputy captain of the Dragon Group. Help me manage the Dragon Group, and I can still spare a lot of energy to think about other things. Bai Yu felt pain at first, and then smiled. Then tell me about the general rules of the Dragon Group and your ideas. I can think about how to manage it according to what you say. Tsunade sat next to Bai Yu and said seriously. It's no wonder that the serious Tsunade has returned to her usual vigorous and resolute appearance. Bai Yu was stunned for a while. Here's what I think. As a new Konoha unit, the Dragon Team must be strong in all aspects, not only in terms of strength. Every member can be independent. A member of the Dragon Team is a tiger, and a group of Dragon Team members is a dragon. A giant dragon as powerful as the White Dragon. The Dragon Team must conduct strength assessments every month. Task assessments. Set up a Dragon Team ranking. For completing tasks, in addition to the necessary remuneration and Konoha merits, there are also merit points within the Dragon Team. With the merit points within the Dragon Team, you can exchange for superior ninja tools and ask me to customize a ninjutsu of various levels. If the merit points are high, I can even come up with an SSS level ninjutsu for him, even if I have to pull my hair out. Bai Yu said proudly. In other words, your next step is to enter the ninja tool manufacturing business? Tsunade said with wisdom in her eyes. Well, you are worthy of being my good wife. But, with your joining, I can think more about other issues. Not only the Enbu, but even the major families have their own channels for ninja tools. My Dragon Group must have it. At worst, I will go and learn it. Anyway, I have a strong learning ability. Bai Yu said firmly. If it is a ninja tool, I suggest you go to the Iron Country. If it is a pure weapon, the craftsmen of the Iron Country are very powerful. If it is a special ninja tool, I suggest you go to the black market and see if you can dig up a craftsman ninja from the village. Craftsman ninjas are good at making some strange ninja tools. Tsunade thought for a while and said, well, I know. Bai Yu kissed Tsunade and said with a smile, the humble author expresses envy. Just as Bai Yu was preparing to further communicate with Tsunade, an Anbu ninja appeared outside the house. Tsunade pushed Bai Yu away and returned to the room silently. Bai Yu looked at the Anbu ninja standing at the door with an unhappy face. Hey, little brother, do you have to appear so timely? Bai Yu said, after looking at the figure of the person who came. There was no way to wear a mask on his face. Sorry, sir. Lord Hokage wants to see you. I'm in the Hokage's office. The Anbu ninja said respectfully. Okay, I got it. You go back first. I'll be there soon. Bai Yu said helplessly. Yes, sir. The Anbu ninja said, and the figure gradually disappeared. What's the matter? Tsunade walked out of the room and asked. Tsunade's strength is very strong. She can easily sense the departure of the Anbu ninja. Lord Hokage asked me to go. I guess he has some ideas, because I showed the light armor made by the dragon group today. Bai Yu said helplessly. This old man. Tsunade said. Then she helped Bai Yu change clothes. Bai Yu was still wearing the black light armor. After changing clothes, Bai Yu kissed Tsunade's face before leaving. It was really shameless. Arrived at the Hokage's office. Bai Yu took a closer look. Wow, there are really all the people. Utane Koharu, Mitokado En, Shimura Danzo, Sarutobi Hiruzen, Hokage-sama. Bai Yu said respectfully. Then he nodded to Utane Koharu and Mitokado En, indicating that he respected them. As for Shimura Danzo, TSK. Bai Yu, aren't you going to explain the armor you took out today? Before Sarutobi Hiruzen could say anything, Shimura Danzo couldn't help but jump out and question. Hey, did your teeth fall out? Why are you spitting out saliva? What's there to explain? What's wrong with the equipment I equipped my troops with? Do you have to be stingy if you are stingy? Bai Yu said disdainfully. Bai Yu, do you know that metals such as conductive metals and live steel are strategic level materials? Each material must be approved by the village before it can be used. Utane Koharu said sternly. So that's it. Bai Yu said disdainfully in his heart. I bought the materials and spent my own money. Why are you in a hurry? Did I spend your money? I know. But I didn't use the villages. I bought the materials with my own money and paid someone to make them. Is there any problem? Bai Yu said righteously. Humph, these are obviously materials from the village. Look what this is. Mitaman Yan said sternly and took out a scroll from his arms and handed it to Bai Yu. Bai Yu was stunned and took a look at the contents of the scroll. It was a detailed list of materials that Bai Yu had misappropriated, as well as Bai Yu's signature, and the fonts were surprisingly consistent. Bai Yu's brain began to work rapidly. After a moment, Bai Yu felt a surge of anger in his heart. Shimura Danzo. Bai Yu looked at Shimura Danzo with murderous eyes. Bai Yu, don't look at me like that. I admit that there are unpleasant things between us. But public is public, and private is private. In the interests of the village, I will not seek revenge for personal gain. Shimura Danzo said righteously. But there was a hint of pride hidden deep in his eyes. But no one noticed it, except Bai Yu, who had his Dharma Eyes open. Chapter 63, Telepathy. Success. As early as when Bai Yu showed his armor, Shimura Danzo smelled the smell of opportunity. When the selection was over, he said to Sarutobi Hiruzen with a gloomy face, I suspect that Bai Yu secretly used the village's supplies. I'll go check it out. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't say anything, but looked at Shimura Danzo. The meaning was self-evident, whether Shimura Danzo would throw dirty water. Hiruzen, believe me, in front of the justice of the village, I can't do this. Shimura Danzo said in a rare good tone. When Sarutobi Hiruzen saw Shimura Danzo's look, his heart was instantly occupied by the friendship of old friends for many years. Okay, but you must promise not to frame Bai Yu. Sarutobi Hiruzen said. I promise. All this is for the village. Shimura Danzo said silently in his heart. So, Shimura Danzo sent out the root ninjas to quietly move some of the supplies, and then sent special ninjas to fake the data scroll. They found the 2 bullets of Utane Koharu and Mitokado En. Then Shimura Danzo successfully played the role of the gun. There is also this scene today. Bai Yu took a deep breath and exhaled slowly. He said calmly, I wonder how the Hokage will punish me. Remove the title of Elder. 200 members of the Dragon Group will be assigned to the Anbu and the Root. The light armor will be handed over to the village. 30% of the shares of the industry under his name will belong to the Konoha level. Shimura Danzo jumped out and said. Bai Yu thought to himself, this is a great move. Not only did he cheat himself, but these benefits were enough to tempt Sarutobi Hiruzen. Successfully unified the front line. Utatane Koharu and Mito-Kadoen were very tempted after hearing this. They were not tempted by the materials at all, but by the 30% shares of the industry under Bai Yu's name. You know, Bai Yu's industry is very profitable. Sarutobi Hiruzen was also tempted, but he couldn't agree, because this might force Bai Yu to betray the village. Impossible. Bai Yu said directly. His tone was firm and firm. Shimura Danzo also knew that it was impossible, and the reason why he asked for a sky-high price was because he wanted to leave room for bargaining. Shimura Danzo didn't say anything, but looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen. So everyone's eyes turned to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Forget about expelling him. Sarutobi Hiruzen said this, and glanced at Shimura Danzo. Then he continued, just make up for the missing supplies in the village. Then 10% of the shares of the industry under his name will be returned to the Konoha level. I can make up for the supplies. I can also hand over 10% of the shares. But the names of the three of them are not on the list of the high level. You know, when a rabbit is anxious, it will kick an eagle. Bai Yu gritted his teeth and said gloomily. Hearing this, Utatane Koharu and Mito-Kadoen's face turned black. They were a little angry with Bai Yu in their hearts. Humph. Utatane Koharu and Mito-Kadoen could only hum to express their dissatisfaction. But Shimura Danzo didn't care. With this hat, Bai Yu would never be a candidate for Hokage. Because there can't be stains on the Hokage. And he can also get a batch of supplies. Okay, let's all go. Looking at Bai Yu's gloomy face, Sarutobi Hiruzen had a headache. When he saw Bai Yu's look, he instantly understood what was going on. Shimura Danzo, I hope you can be more restrained. Bai Yu did not speak, but walked away with a gloomy face. Hiruzen, I now feel that your decision to let Bai Yu become an elder is problematic. Utatane Koharu said with a bad face. That's right, it's obviously his fault, and he still has this attitude. He is so young, and his status has blinded his eyes. Mito-Kadoen also said unkindly. Hiruzen, I think your punishment is too light. Unauthorized misappropriation of village supplies. Shimura Danzo said, fanning the flames. Shimura Danzo, do you think I don't know what's going on? Everyone leave. I still have official business to deal with. Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but said loudly. Everything is for the village. Hiruzen, I just found out that Bai Yu has a problem. I have a clear conscience. Shimura Danzo said righteously. Yes. Hiruzen, don't be partial to Bai Yu, just because he has some strength. Utatane Koharu said earnestly. For this, Shimura Danzo silently gave Utatane Koharu a thumbs up in his heart. Everyone, go out. There's a lot of official business today. Sarutobi Hiruzen said, and then he looked at the official scroll. Seeing this, Utatane Koharu and Mito-Kadoen walked out of the Hokage's office helplessly. Shimura Danzo left with a smile. Sarutobi Hiruzen put down the scroll in his hand after the few people left, and his heart couldn't calm down for a long time. There are not many old friends left. I hope it won't be too bad. Sarutobi Hiruzen seemed to have aged 10 years in an instant, smoking a pipe, as if the smoke he exhaled was all the trouble in his heart. Damn it. Shimura Danzo. You asterisk committed the classic Chinese curse. Bai Yu had a gloomy face and said nothing, but he kept cursing in his heart. Walking on the street, passers-by were shocked by the momentum that Bai Yu unintentionally exuded. When he returned home, Bai Yu said nothing, with a gloomy face, picked up the Bai Yu sword, and began to practice swordsmanship in the yard. Although he didn't use chakra, but every move was still amazing. There was also a hint of suppressed murderous aura. Tsunade frowned when she saw Bai Yu's look. She had never seen Bai Yu with such a gloomy expression. She could easily sense the suppressed murderous aura. However, Tsunade knew that Bai Yu was not suitable for conversation now, but should be left alone to calm down. Tsunade thought about it, walked to the refrigerator, took some ingredients, and made some snacks in the kitchen. Then she took 2 bottles of wine. On the platform at the door of the house, a small table was set up, and the snacks, wine glasses and chopsticks were placed. With a smile on her face, she watched Bai Yu practice swordsmanship quietly. The focused eyes were full of love. Bai Yu was unintentionally focused when practicing swordsmanship. Suddenly, Bai Yu felt something was wrong. What was this feeling? It was very sweet and strong, like a clear spring flowing, instantly clearing away most of the boredom and anger in Bai Yu's heart. Bai Yu stopped and immersed himself in this feeling quietly. After a while, a little breath of life appeared around him, and then Bai Yu felt the boredom, anger and murderous aura in his heart. But strangely, Bai Yu was not affected, but was very rational to notice it. Then, the Teikai diagram in Bai Yu's eyes slowly flowed, and the pupil power slowly gathered Bai Yu's heart. Dong dong, Bai Yu's heart beat twice mischievously. In an instant, all kinds of feelings were quickly magnified. And Bai Yu also noticed the source of all kinds of feelings. Is this the breath? The breath full of vitality is the grass around Bai Yu. And those boredom, anger and murderous intent come from himself. That very comfortable feeling comes from Tsunade! Exclamation mark. And Bai Yu's eyes met Tsunade's. Is this love? Bai Yu couldn't help but show love when he looked at Tsunade. Bai Yu also understood at this time. That kind of ability, he can read minds! Exclamation mark. Cheng. Bai Yu looked at the table next to Tsunade and instantly understood Tsunade's intentions. Bai Yu walked to the other side of the table and sat down, looking at Tsunade gently. Are you angry? Tsunade said gently. Yeah. Bai Yu said softly. I haven't drunk for a long time. Let's drink today. Tsunade said with love. Good. I wish all the students good luck in the college entrance examination. Chapter 64. Promoting brainwashing culture in the 21st century. What happened? Tsunade and Bai Yu clinked their glasses and took a sip of wine and asked. Bai Yu helplessly told what happened just now. Bang! Tsunade's temper instantly boiled over. The wine glass slammed heavily on the table. Too abominable. Shimura Danzo, this despicable villain. Is this old man crazy? He can't see it so obviously. Tsunade said angrily. Bai Yu's telepathic ability clearly felt that Tsunade's anger value was very high. Bai Yu took Tsunade's hand, touched it, and then said with a smile, it's okay, it's my bad luck this time. Besides, except for not being a candidate for Hokage, I have no loss. I don't care about the position of Hokage. I only care about the people I want to protect. As for those supplies, just treat them as feeding the dog. Pucci, feeding the dog, you can think of it. But I'm still very angry. Tsunade couldn't help laughing, but then she was shrouded in anger again. Okay, don't worry, Bai Yu, I'm not a soft persimmon. I already have an idea in my mind. Bai Yu said with a smile. Okay, but you must tell me what you need me to do. Tsunade said helplessly. Bai Yu nodded and continued to drink with Tsunade. Under the influence of alcohol, the two of them, young, old, sad and lamentable. The next day, Bai Yu and Tsunade, hand in hand, wearing light armor, came to the Dragon Group base. The 200 members of the Dragon Group were all energetic and standing on the training ground wearing Dragon Group light armor. They were all waiting for Bai Yu to appear. When Bai Yu and Tsunade appeared, everyone's eyes were all focused on Bai Yu and Tsunade. But the light emitted by Bai Yu and Tsunade hand in hand made everyone feel a little weird. Haha, just kidding, funny. Bai Yu and Tsunade walked in front of everyone. Tsunade stood behind Bai Yu, and Bai Yu stood in front. Uchiha Makoto was next to the team, smiling at Tsunade. Bai Yu was a little surprised. But after all, in front of people, Bai Yu did not show it. Instead, he took a step forward. Everyone. Bai Yu, I'm not talented, but I'm lucky to be the captain of the dragon team. And you 200 people are my brothers under Bai Yu. I have a shortcoming, that is, no matter in strength or other aspects, if someone surpasses me, I will feel uncomfortable, but I will surpass others through my own efforts. Always strive for the first place. This is the spirit of our dragon team. However, all of us are brothers in the same unit. Unity is our quality. As ninjas, we must have the spirit of perseverance. We must also have the determination to endure hardships. So, the dragon soul of our dragon team is perseverance, hard work, unity, and always striving for the first place. These 16 words, each of you must remember them. Carve them into your bones, penetrate into your marrow, and stain your blood. Do you understand? Bai Yu said very domineeringly and seriously. There was a trace of murderous aura on his body. Understood. X200. The shouts of 200 people were very loud. Bai Yu was very satisfied. You have a good voice. I can tell that you are excellent ninjas. From the moment you put on this dragon group light armor, you are members of my dragon group. But you are not yet a qualified dragon group ninja. Because you have not yet condensed the dragon soul. In my eyes, you are just excellent ninjas of Konoha village. But you are far from the expectations of my dragon group's elite ninjas. Bai Yu changed the subject and spoke in a sharp tone. Even Tsunade couldn't help but frown slightly. But how can these stupid natives compare with the mature brainwashing flow of the 21st century? If you want loyal warriors, the first step is to crush their pride, impact their spirit, and crush them in strength, so that they will question themselves. At this moment, instill the dragon group's dragon soul into them, and become their spiritual support in difficult times. Finally, one sentence, you are qualified members of the dragon group, and you will be given all the honors. You will definitely be proud of being members of the dragon group. At that time, don't regret it when you leave. Master Bai Yu, we are the best. We passed the selection. Yes, we all stood out from the selection. We are the best. Bullshit. If I hadn't emphasized before the selection that no killing was allowed, some of you would definitely have died in the selection. What do you think the dragon group is? The dragon group I want is the elite of the elite among all the ninja troops. Are you? Bai Yu said arrogantly and wildly. For a moment, all the ninjas' eyes were full of dissatisfaction. Yo. Look at you all, so dissatisfied and angry. Do you regret it? Take off the dragon group light armor, return the identity token, and you can get out. I, Bai Yu, never want a coward. 10 seconds. Countdown now. Bai Yu first sneered, and then counted seriously. But what made Bai Yu happy was that everyone left in 10 seconds. As the saying goes, a bad soldier makes a bad general. I, Bai Yu, consider myself a man of some strength. So my brothers must be like me. The dragon team led by me, Bai Yu, must be a roaring army of tigers and wolves. Bai Yu said loudly for a while. Then he changed his tone. Aren't you dissatisfied? My real chakra cultivation is now at the elite Jonin level. I can barely reach the quasi-cage level with the blood-related elimination of the fire thunder. With the sage mode, my comprehensive combat power is at the level of the cage. Now I will give you a chance. I will not use my best swordsmanship. I will not use talisman techniques and divine spells. I will not use ninjutsu, let alone sage mode. I will only use ninjutsu. With the strength of an elite Jonin, I will fight against you 200 Jonin. You can do whatever you want. How about it? If I knock you down, lie on the ground, and admit your defeat. If you knock me down, the dragon team will be disbanded. If I can't even beat my own brothers, what kind of captain am I to be the dragon team? Bai Yu said domineeringly. After saying that, Bai Yu grabbed the scabbard of the Bai Yu sword with his right hand, and inserted it into the ground along with the Bai Yu sword. Among you, there are many ninjas from the family. Byakugan, Sharingan, family secrets, illusions and the like. All of them, come at me. After Bai Yu shouted, he opened his Dharma Eye and rushed straight into the crowd. Nonsense. Bai Yu is not a reckless man. If he doesn't open his Dharma Eye, wouldn't he be a standard illusion target? 64 soft fists. A ninja from the Hyuga clan with his Byakugan opened directly attacked Bai Yu with one palm. Soft fist. Oh, do you know about Teikai? Bai Yu stopped suddenly, turned his body's chakra, and rushed through his meridians, and clasped his hands in a circle. In an instant, he grabbed the wrist of the Hyuga clan ninja. 4 ounces to move 1,000 pounds. Inch force. Go. Bai Yu unloaded the attacking force, and with the help of the momentum and inch force, the ninja flew out like a cannonball. This is impossible. The ninja with his Byakugan on flew away with an expression of disbelief. Water escape. Water prison. A ninja saw the right moment, and before Bai Yu's body could be restored, a ninjutsu came over, and at the same time, he led several ninjas to release ninjutsu one by one. Lightning escape, earth walk, fire escape, great fire extinguishing. This is the Uchiha family's Jonin. Earth escape, earth stab, wind escape, big breakthrough. Bai Yu looked at the attacking ninjutsu and smiled slightly. The power is good, but the coordination, wow. If the coordination is proper, then I can only resist it. Learn about the Kingan blessed by internal force and chakra. Dragon body technique. The Teikai pattern in Bai Yu's eyes flowed, and he successfully found a safe route, leaving small pits made by his feet. His body was like lightning, leaving a series of after images, avoiding all ninjutsu attacks. At this time, a ninja from the Uchiha family with a pair of 3 Magatama Sharingan appeared in front of Bai Yu. Bai Yu narrowed his eyes slightly. I've seen it clearly a long time ago. I've been waiting for you for a long time. The long sword in the ninja's hand turned into a cold light and cut towards Bai Yu's neck. Can Bai Yu catch it? Will he be slapped in the face? Oh, it's been a long time since I last wrote 10,000 words. It would be great if I had time to write. I'm helpless. Chapter 65. What? Do it. Bajiquin. Step forward. Elbow. Bang. Bai Yu took a quick little step, closed the distance, lowered his body, and dodged the cold light. This time Bai Yu did not use inch force, but simply cracked a rib. Otherwise, the internal organs might be shattered by inch force. The Uchiha ninja lost his fighting power instantly. Are you so tolerant? Do you want to dance like this? Bai Yu did not understand why he said to dance, but he felt that it was more imposing. You can't defeat me unless you are in a state of killing me, Bai Yu said loudly. Damn it. Lord Bai Yu is too strong. I didn't expect him to be so strong. No, even if he is strong, we have to fight. Shuriken. Kyune. Fuma Shuriken. Senbon. Looking at the overwhelming hidden weapons flying at him, Bai Yu expressed disdain. That's it? Bai Yu dodged several Kyune and took a shuriken. Ding ding dang dang. Ding ding ding. Bai Yu leisurely used the shuriken in his hand to knock away all the hidden weapons that threatened him. Fire escape. Great fireball technique. Several Uchiha ninjas worked together to release ninjutsu. Seeing this, the others also divided and combined to perform ninjutsu with all their strength. Water escape. Who will repair the dam? Haha funny. The name is a guest appearance, don't take it seriously. Earth escape. Earth swamp. Bai Yu nodded with satisfaction when he saw the attacking ninjutsu. Unity is there, perseverance is still a bit, and hard work. There is no way to withdraw. Always striving for the first place, never leaving the dragon group. It has already been reflected a little. Seeing that the goal has been achieved, Bai Yu's eyes are aside, his face is calm. There is no need to play anymore. There is no elite Jonin here. They are all Jonin, and the family will not allow the elite Jonin to leave. Not to mention the roots of the Enbu. So Bai Yu is not afraid at all. Shadowless leg. Bai Yu made a ghost shadow step, and then began to accelerate the output crazily. Wing Chun. Bajiquin. Taijiquin. Tiger crane double form. The only martial arts in the world that cannot be defeated is speed. Bai Yu, with the help of chakra and inch power, confirmed this. Looking at the ninjas staggering on the ground, Bai Yu tidied up his messy light armor. Tsunade. Treat them. Bai Yu said, touching his nose. Tsunade rolled her eyes at Bai Yu. Started to treat them one by one. After a long time, Tsunade finished the treatment. She stood behind Bai Yu again. The team of 200 people stood up again. There was no resentment in their eyes at this time. Only ardent admiration. The strong are worth following. Very good. In the battle just now, I saw the unity of the team. I also saw perseverance. But I didn't see the constant striving for the first place and the hard work. Next, I will put you through 3 months of devilish training. Otherwise, you will not only lose your own face when you go out, but also the face of the dragon team. And even more so my Bai Yu's face. From now on, before the end of 3 months, I will not allow you to say that you are a member of the dragon team. Because you are not worthy. Do you have any objections? Bai Yu scolded sternly. No. This time all the ninjas were convinced. Even if Bai Yu said that they were rubbish, no one would not accept it. The facts were in front of them. Who would talk nonsense again? At this time, Tsunade also understood Bai Yu's intention and instantly felt admiration for Bai Yu. You are very lucky. Not only do I serve as your captain, but my love Tsunade is also your vice captain. I'm responsible for giving you regular devil training and a series of decisions for the Dragon Group. Tsunade is responsible for the daily management of the Dragon Group and other projects. Now, I can train you to death, since you won't die or become disabled anyway. By the way, I don't need to introduce Tsunade to you. You all know her. Now, please let Tsunade speak. Bai Yu said with a smile. I'm Tsunade. I will be responsible for the daily management and task allocation of the Dragon Group in the future. The specific rules and regulations will be announced in 3 months. The most important thing is to be responsible for medical treatment. Also, I wish you good luck. Don't be killed by Bai Yu's devil training. Thank you. Tsunade ended with a weird cold joke. The ninjas felt a chill behind their backs when they heard this. Brothers. Sweat more during training. Bleed less during battle. I'm also doing this for your own good. You will all be my brothers fighting side by side in the future. I don't want to attend my brother's memorial service. But let's be frank. Public is public and private is private. The training ground is like a battlefield. During training, don't think I will be merciful. I will be more devilish than the devil. Bai Yu was earnest at first, but his tone became more serious at the end. However, everyone understood Bai Yu's painstaking efforts. In addition to admiration, the look they gave Bai Yu was mixed with respect. Okay, that's it for today. Mikoto will take you to the dormitory later. By the way, let me tell you, Mikoto is my secretary, but she is my treasure. If you bully her, I will let you know why the flowers are so red. Barbecue party in the evening. I suggest you eat less at noon. Ah, the Akimichi family, just ignore what I said. Bai Yu changed his seriousness just now and said with a smile. Whitehead, don't you need to seal us? A ninja from the Inuzuka family with purple oil paint on his face asked in confusion. What seal? What's there to seal? We are all brothers. You may recognize me, and I recognize you. Trust is a necessary condition for unity. I don't seal you, because I trust you. Don't you deserve my trust? Ha. Our dragon group is different from other places. By the way, I like the name of Beitao. Take a break quickly. Get familiar with the environment here. Bai Yu said with a smile, and then took Tsunade to his office. The ninjas looked at the backs of Bai Yu and Tsunade leaving, with mixed feelings. Deeply moved, and the heart of loyalty was buried in their hearts, and became a seed. When this seed sprouts and grows up, the future cannot be ignored. You, why come to your office? Shouldn't you take me to my office? Tsunade asked puzzled. Tsunade felt that, since she was the deputy captain here, she had to fulfill her duties and responsibilities, and a lot of rules and regulations had to be listed and improved, and the details of the monthly Dragon Group ranking and task evaluation had to be considered. Come to my office. What do you want? I don't know. Don't know? Humph. You. That's it. After a long time, you are so bad. Tsunade said shyly. Women don't love bad men. Bai Yu said meanly. Then he tidied up his light armor. TSK. But is it okay for us to do this? Tsunade said with a blush. What's wrong? Isn't all this for the purpose of being able to fight in various situations? Bai Yu said with a smirk. Okay then. Then I'll call Mikoto to accompany you. Although Tsunade's face was red, she was very excited. Come on. Come on. Bai Yu also said excitedly. Tsunade tiptoed to quietly call Mikoto to the office. Mikoto's face was red all the way. Master Bai Yu, is it really okay for the three of us to do this? Uchiha Mikoto said blushingly, playing with the corners of her clothes with both hands. Come on. Why are you shy? We are all ninjas. Bai Yu said proudly. Fuck. Tsunade and Uchiha Mikoto shouted excitedly. Wait, put it on first. Bai Yu took out 3 gas masks from the desk and said with a smirk. Okay. Uchiha Mikoto and Tsunade also put them on excitedly. Bai Yu has been secretly planning a trick. He didn't tell anyone and prepared a series of potions long before. He originally wanted to operate it secretly with Mikoto. Unexpectedly, Tsunade has joined now. Bai Yu plans to aim at the dormitory building first and release the sad breeze. This is the name, but the effect is that the smell makes the Jonin unable to use chakra. Then release another potion. The effect is that the stomach hurts after smelling the smell, but the kind that doesn't go to the toilet. The last one is amazing. It's called exhaust powder. The kind that farts all the time. The combination of the three smells is even more stimulating, and it will make people run involuntarily. This kind of running is a running from the heart, because running will make people feel comfortable, and the faster you run, the more comfortable you feel. It's a mental potion. Pain and happiness. Tsunade and Uchiha were embarrassed because it was their first time to do such a prank, but they were still looking forward to it, so they were shy and excited. Those who think of it wrongly, go to face the wall. No, throw your votes at my face. It's so fun to be naughty. The ridicule from the most humble author in history, Mustard. Wow. Funny. The votes haven't been thrown too hard recently. Where are the brothers who support me? Look at me, I'm so cheap. Come and throw them at me. Come here. Chapter 66 contains the author's true thoughts. Please take a look. I'm the most humble author in history, Mustard with chili peppers. I can't express my gratitude to friends who can see this. I hope you can feel that I'm kneeling to thank you. Don't worry, I'm not going to fail. This book has been signed. Please feel free to read it. But there is a problem, that is, it will be put on the shelves. I see that other great gods have a thank you speech before putting it on the shelves. I'm a newbie, and I'm confused even about the successful signing of this contract. I don't know what the process is. What I want to say is, thank you for your support. Really, this is the first time I feel the power of support. I hope you don't abandon me. I will put it on the shelves at night. I hope everyone will not abandon the lovely Mustard. I need your support. Mustard once again expresses its inexpressible kneeling gratitude to all good friends. Finally, please forgive Mustard for shamelessly begging for awards and subscriptions from everyone. I don't understand either. You must support me. I have created a question skirt 22, 251 to 7488. Those who want to bully me every day can come in. Haha. Chapter 67, Training Trilogy. At this time, all the ninjas were still tidying up their beds. Some of the quicker ones who finished tidying up first were looking around the dormitory building. Constrain your breath. Tsunade, you are at the main door of the dormitory. Close the door immediately after the delivery. Mikoto, you go to the back door. Lock the back door after the delivery to prevent it from slipping away. I will use the wind to lead the potion to each floor and then return to the main door from the rooftop. Is it clear? Bai Yu said with a smirk. Understood. Tsunade and Mikoto each held 3 potion bottles and smiled maliciously. Begin. Bai Yu gave an order. Uchiha Mikoto quickly detoured to the back door. Tsunade threw it directly into the dormitory building. Bai Yu saw the potion bottle shattered and formed a twitching wind force with the speed of his body. Every floor he went up, he would use wind chakra to send the smell of the potion to the end of the corridor as much as possible. Tsunade saw Bai Yu's action and immediately closed the door. At this time, Uchiha Mikoto had finished delivering the potion and locked the back door. The distance between the main door and the back door is not very far, and they are the kind of passages facing each other. The reason for putting the medicine again is to prevent the dragon group ninjas from inhaling it unevenly. Bai Yu rushed to the platform and was about to jump back to the main door, but he looked back at the door of the rooftop. Oh, don't blame me. Bai Yu directly broke a section of the steel bar of the rooftop fence next to him and roughly sealed the door of the rooftop. Then he jumped back to the main door gracefully. At this time, Tsunade and Uchiha Mikoto had been waiting for Bai Yu. Success. Bai Yu stretched out his hands and said with a smile. Of course, he didn't want a hug, but a high five. Tsunade and Uchiha Mikoto also raised their palms and high-fived Bai Yu. Do you want to gather now? Tsunade asked. The 3 of them sat on a bench not far from the door of the dormitory. No hurry, wait for 10 seconds. That's when the drug will start to take effect. Bai Yu said mischievously. Hey, brother, why is there a breeze? And it smells a bit. Are you sick? We are in the toilet now. No, I really smell the fragrance. Do you want to eat? Idiot. The ninja living on the first floor. Do you smell it? It smells so good. Is it time for dinner? I didn't expect that. Lord Bai Yu is so nice. He personally prepared meals for us. I didn't see any other logistics staff. Yes. Yes. Ninjas on other floors. Little did they know that Bai Yu really prepared meals for them. A potion feast. No. Why does my stomach hurt a little? No. No. I suddenly feel like running. After saying this, the ninja began to run in place with small movements. At this moment, the whole building remembered Bai Yu's voice. 30 seconds. Gather on the playground. Why is the first floor so fragrant? Yes. What's going on? All the ninjas quickly opened the door from the first floor and ran out. But when passing by the first floor, their breathing became completely even. No. This is a potion. There were some clever ninjas among the ninjas, but they reacted too late. The cleverest among them were the Tenenbu ninjas and a ninja from the Uchiha clan. But they were relieved soon after. Would Bai Yu play by the rules? Obviously not. Seeing the ninjas suppressing their pain one by one, Bai Yu couldn't help but laugh wantonly in his heart. What's wrong? Everyone's expression is so painful. Did something sad happen? Bai Yu asked kindly. Whitehead. My stomach hurts. The ninja from the Inuzuka family couldn't help but say. My stomach hurts. What happened? Bai Yu looked concerned. I don't know. I just smelled the scent of medicine. We Inuzuka family have very sensitive noses. I've been in pain for a long time. It seems like I was drugged, said the ninja from the Inuzuka family. Drugs? Haha. That's right. It was me. Did I let you feel the environment and lower your vigilance? I said we won't train today, so we won't train. The battlefield changes rapidly, and anything can happen at any time. This is the first lesson of your training. No matter when and where, you must stay vigilant. Bai Yu shouted loudly. Your stomach hurts, right? Do you want to run? Do you want to pass gas? Bai Yu shouted proudly. This is the second lesson, restrain your impulse. And the third lesson, all pain is an illusion. The fourth lesson, you can control your body at any time. Now, stand like a pine tree and sit like a bell. Stand still. Remember, they are all illusions. Bai Yu shouted seriously. Then Bai Yu walked towards the ninja of the Inuzuka family and asked, what's your name? Whitehead. My name is Inuzuka Chuan. Inuzuka Chuan said loudly. Does your stomach hurt a lot? Do you want me to give you a solution? Bai Yu said with a smile. Okay, Whitehead. Inuzuka Chuan grinned. Do 100 squats. Exhale and do 100 more. Bai Yu said with a smile. Ugh. Inuzuka Chuan was instantly defeated and cursed Bai Yu as a devil in his heart. No need. Actually, it doesn't hurt that much. Inuzuka Chuan said helplessly. Then you are just kidding me? Now do 200 squats. Exhale once, plus 200. Start. Bai Yu suddenly changed his face and said. Inuzuka Chuan squatted while controlling his gluteus maximus. His face almost turned green. You are so brave. You dare to play tricks on me. Humph. Do you have a stomachache? Bai Yu first whispered so that Inuzuka Chuan could hear. Then he said it loudly so that everyone could hear. No pain. Everyone replied in unison. Then why does Inuzuka Chuan have a stomachache? Bai Yu asked. I don't know. Everyone replied. To perfunctorily treat me? Very good. Everyone do 200 squats. Exhale once, plus 200. Start now. Bai Yu shouted with a smile. This is Bai Yu's purpose. To seize any opportunity to abuse them, and there is no chance to create opportunities. The ninjas began to obey Bai Yu's orders very consciously. Bai Yu waved to Makoto. Master Bai Yu. Uchiha Makoto said gently. Well, I'll trouble you. Help me collect some live steel, chakra conduction metals and other strategic materials. 50 million will do. This is my bank book. Remember not to give it to Tsunade. By the way, after collecting them, hand over these materials to the village in my name. Hand them over to Master Hokage in person. Bai Yu glanced at Tsunade next to him after he finished speaking. Seeing Tsunade was looking at the ninjas and thinking about something, she exhaled. Okay. Uchiha Makoto agreed and was happy in her heart. Did she let me manage the money? Uchiha Makoto went to do things for Bai Yu very neatly. Bai Yu looked at the self-conscious ninjas and expressed satisfaction. Remember, brothers, if you want to have extraordinary combat power on the battlefield, you must numb yourself. All the pain is an illusion. Come on. It's all an illusion. Being tired is all an illusion. Wanting to pass gas is all an illusion. Your body just absorbed the medicine. It's all an illusion. Bai Yu shouted leisurely on the side. This is the first part of Bai Yu's trilogy of training soldiers to torture their spirit. The second part is to strengthen their body. The third part is to train their mind. Bai Yu believes that the most advanced brainwashing technology in the 21st century, coupled with the spirit of the great power group, the ninjas of the dragon group, are definitely the elite of the elite. I have created a button skirt 22, 251 to 7488. Those who want to bully me every day can come in. Haha. Chapter 68. Danzo Shimura is causing trouble again. Strategic materials are difficult to obtain. Except for the black market, each village has strict control. It took Uchiha Makoto some time to get the materials. Uchiha Makoto did not buy them in the village, but went to the black market. Don't ask why Uchiha Makoto knows. Use your imagination. It has been more than a month since Uchiha Makoto returned to the village. However, when she returned to the village and heard the words of those civilians, Uchiha Makoto's face changed instantly. Have you heard? Lord Bai Yu privately misappropriated the village's supplies to make light armor for the dragon group's ninjas. No way. How could Lord Bai Yu do this? Isn't this a stain? I was looking forward to Lord Bai Yu becoming Hokage. This was announced by the top management. I heard that Lord Bai Yu was also punished to make up the supplies, and 10% of all the shares in his industry were transferred to the top management. However, I heard that the three elder advisors, the top leaders, Koharu Utatane, Enmito Kado, and Danzo Shimura, were rejected by Bai Yu to have their names on the 10% equity. Also, I heard that no one in the top management accepted this share, and Lord Hokage distributed this share to the children's welfare home and medical institutions. But then again, I really don't believe that Lord Bai Yu would do such a thing. Uchiha Makoto finally couldn't help it. Lord Bai Yu wouldn't. He would never do such a thing. Lord Bai Yu has always given his own money to his brothers. How is it possible? This is definitely a frame up. Uchiha Makoto had tears in her eyes, but her tone was extremely firm. Several civilians looked at Uchiha Makoto running away in confusion. Bang Danzo. What are you going to do? Who told you to spread the news? In the Hokage's office, Sarutobi Hiruzen slammed the table and shouted angrily at Shimura Danzo. Sorry, I drank too much with my subordinates a few days ago. I accidentally told them about this matter, but I didn't expect them to say it. I will deal with it seriously when I go back. If you ask me not to spread this matter, I will go to shut them up. Shimura Danzo said apologetically, but he was laughing smugly in his heart. Sarutobi Hiruzen heard this, and it was like hitting cotton with his strength. Block! Exclamation mark. How to block? Almost everyone in the village knows. You. Go down. Sarutobi Hiruzen had no choice but to drive Shimura Danzo away. Old friend. You are really restless. Konoha has just prospered. Shimura Danzo left, and Sarutobi Hiruzen smoked his pipe helplessly. Bang, the door was pushed open again. Sarutobi Hiruzen's puff of cigarette almost got stuck in his throat. Hokage-sama. Bai Yu-sama will never do this. These are supplies. These are supplies purchased by Bai Yu-sama. Bai Yu-sama will never embezzle the village's supplies without permission. Please investigate carefully. Uchiha Makoto came in, anxiously placed the scroll of supplies on Sarutobi Hiruzen's desk, and said hurriedly, Makoto. Don't worry. I will take care of this matter. You go to Bai Yu to report first. Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a trace of helplessness in his eyes. Yes. Uchiha Makoto knew in her heart that this matter must have been investigated since it had been announced, and I believe that Bai Yu-sama also knew it in his heart. But I still have to tell Bai Yu about this matter. Uchiha Makoto didn't say anything nonsense and went straight to the Dragon Group base. For a month, Bai Yu changed different tricks every day, wantonly torturing the nerves of every ninja. Every ninja can calmly face Bai Yu's series of unexpected strange moves, and they also learned a lot. What is certain is that if the members of the Dragon Group lead the new ninjas, they will definitely make them cry and scream. When you go to the toilet, 3 Bai Yu suddenly jump out and push you into the pit. You swim hard to get out. When you swim out, you plan to use water escape to wash your body, but you hear a strange voice and you can't move. Then it's hot around you and everything on your body is dry. For example, when you are eating dinner, you find that the food is poisoned, and it's the kind that flows out. For example, when you think you can finally take a hot bath quietly, the water turns cold in an instant. When you think you have completed the punishment, a sentence so fast? No, you must not be serious, do it again. Or when you are a little slow. You are so slow to complete the punishment, do it again. Do you feel disappointed? Today is the last day of Bai Yu's first part. But the ninjas don't know. As usual, after a day of devil abuse, everyone disbanded. When Bai Yu was studying how to make things, Uchiha Mikoto appeared at the gate of the dragon group with tears in her eyes, and ran towards Bai Yu quickly. What's wrong? Who bullied you? I'll help you beat him. Bai Yu asked hurriedly. No. Lord Bai Yu. Woo. Someone framed you. They said you privately embezzled the village's strategic materials. Uchiha Mikoto cried. Facing Bai Yu, Uchiha Mikoto couldn't be strong. Nor did she want to be strong. Bai Yu was framed, and it was more painful than being framed herself. Okay, don't cry. I knew it a long time ago. I've already thought of a countermeasure. Are you willing to help me? Bai Yu saw Uchiha Mikoto's tearful appearance, and wiped her tears distressedly, and then asked. I'm willing to do anything. Uchiha Mikoto said firmly. Okay, help me do this, and then do this. Finally, Bai Yu whispered in Uchiha Mikoto's ear. At first, Uchiha Mikoto was still very shy, but as Bai Yu spoke, Uchiha Mikoto's eyes lit up. Bai Yu was watching the gorgeous ninjutsu from a distance, blooming in the air, and wandering on the ground, watching the speed after image, listening to the shouts of confrontation. It was so cool. Then Bai Yu pulled Tsunade from the office, and came over to watch the battle in front of them. Tsunade took out 2 bottles of sake from the ceiling scroll. The two watched and commented. Tsunade, what do you think about that guy's fire escape? If it was a little to the left, would it burn my clone? Bai Yu said with a smile. Well, look at that. So stupid. Your clone's intention is so obvious. You were going to hit him on the left cheek, but he blocked it with the right cheek. It seems that it's time for the next step of training. Hey, look. The dog of Inuzuka River is so awesome. More powerful than anyone. Yeah. Oh my god. Who is that? So mean. Why are you putting your hands together and pointing your sword? Sorry, that's my clone. That move is called 1000 Years of Death. Huh, so disgusting. Don't mind it. Look over there. This ninjutsu is pretty. Is it called the Phoenix Flower Fireball technique? It's the Phoenix Flower technique. But it's really pretty. This is a pair of GNN. Don't be in a hurry to scold me. Shimura Danzo won't live for many more episodes. Give some votes and collections to give Wasabi courage. I created a button skirt 22, 251 to 7488. If you want to bully me every day, come in. Haha. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 69. One wave after another. Yesterday's raid brought the first part to a successful conclusion. All the ninjas stood on the playground with bruised faces. Brothers, congratulations on your first month. The next month is a month to train your strength. I will teach you everything I know and everything you want to learn. Whether it's physical skills, swordsmanship, ninjutsu, etc. I will teach you. Bai Yu said proudly. Really? A ninja shouted in disbelief. Of course it's true. No need to seal it. I will teach you, and you can also give it to others. It doesn't matter. But there is one thing. Don't forget that you are the elite of the dragon group. I only ask one thing of you, that is to forge the dragon soul and become a real dragon group ninja. Bai Yu said seriously. We are bound to become the elite ninja of the dragon group. Everyone shouted enthusiastically. Bai Yu's generosity convinced them. Although Bai Yu left them with an indelible impression of the devil in the first month, at this moment, they were willing to become the devil's subordinates. I thought about it. The ninjas of the Hyuga clan are more suitable for Teikai. The ninjas of the Nara clan are more suitable for Wing Chun. The ninjas of the Yamanaka clan are the same as the Nara clan. The Akimichi clan is suitable for Bajiquan. The Inuzuka clan is good at speed, so it is better to learn a kind of body technique. I suggest the Aburame clan to learn Bajiquin. For the Uchiha clan, it is swordsmanship and body techniques. Bai Yu thought about it and briefly talked about the ninjas of each clan and each type of ninja. Of course, this is also my own idea. If any of you like others, it doesn't matter, I will teach them anyway. But if you are too many and not refined, or too mixed and not pure, it is better to learn one or two. Of course, if you think you don't care, I can do it. By the way, I will teach everyone the principle of inch force. Whether you can learn it depends on you. Bai Yu then said loudly. Then Bai Yu started the head coach mode. He trained these ninjas crazily and required that they were not allowed to use chakra. This is hard for those perceptual or auxiliary ninjas who are not good at fighting. But Bai Yu didn't care. On the battlefield, no enemy would let you go just because you were not a combat ninja. For a few days, Bai Yu would train them every day, and the Konoha village was once again in turmoil. Boom. 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 A beam of light and shadow exploded in the sky of Konoha village. The sky was full of flyers, which fell all over the village. Dear Konoha family, hello. I'm Bai Yu. During this period, because of me, you have wasted a lot of brain cells, right? I'm really sorry. Regarding this matter, I just want to say one thing. Everyone should know who I am. However, whether you think I really misappropriated the supplies or was framed, stop talking about it. In any case, I will only use the best equipment in the world for my people. The prosperity of the village is not easy. Don't break this prosperity in peace because of me. I know that I can't become a Hokage with a stain, but this does not affect my enthusiasm for the village. I will still contribute my will of fire to Konoha village. Don't add trouble to the top leaders of Konoha, they have no choice. After all, there is evidence that I misappropriated supplies. Please stop talking about it. I, Bai Yu, will bear this crime. For the peace and prosperity of Konoha, what if I, Bai Yu, am a sinner? I have made up for the supplies. Please stop it. Bai Yashu. A statement of not too big or small. It immediately ignited everyone in Konoha village. Master Bai Yu, I support you. Even if you used it, so what? You let your own people use good equipment while you bear the crime. I'm really sad and angry. Humph, I think there must be something hidden here. Someone must be targeting the excellent Master Bai Yu. If Master Bai Yu hadn't said to let it go, I would definitely go to the Hokage building to redress Master Bai Yu's injustice. For a time, Bai Yu's popularity returned to the boiling point again. Sarutobi Hiruzen had to publish the evidence of Bai Yu's crime, but everyone was dismissive of it. TSK, who can resist the charm of Master Bai Yu? Bang Shimura Danzo angrily tore Bai Yu's statement into pieces and slammed it heavily on the table. He was so angry that he breathed in less and exhaled more. Humph, so what if it's a false accusation? I, Bai Yu, will admit it openly, and with a few words, I will retreat to advance. Is it a war of public opinion? Is it a psychological war? I'm a great Taoist priest who traveled through the 21st century. You are really amazing, Bai Yu. Come here. Shimura Danzo, a hint of cruelty flashed in his eyes. He called the root ninja. You immediately take advantage of this craze and spread this news to me. Shimura Danzo threw a scroll to the root ninja. The root ninja gradually disappeared. I'll see how you solve it this time. Then the rumors criticizing the love between Bai Yu and Tsunade spread again. This time everyone was silent. Because of this problem, although it has always existed from the past to the present, every such love is undoubtedly a tragedy in the end. Bai Yu and Tsunade, whether it is the age difference or the identity, are very controversial. When Uchiha Mikoto heard the news, two ideas suddenly sprouted in her mind. The first was to ask Bai Yu what countermeasures he had, and the second was to ignore it. However, Uchiha Mikoto still ran to the Dragon Group base, and chose the first idea. But this time, it was accidentally heard by Tsunade. Bai Yu's office. Sister, you. Uchiha Mikoto looked at Tsunade who appeared, her face pale, and she didn't know what to do. I'm fine. You guys chat first. I'm going back to the office to be busy. But anyone can see that Tsunade's smile is a little unnatural. Wait a minute. Bai Yu knew he had to say something. But Tsunade stopped and didn't look back. Because 2 lines of tears slowly flowed down. Tsunade didn't want Bai Yu to see. Tsunade, what Bai Yu said is true. It just so happens that Mikoto is here today. I'll talk, Bai Yu said seriously. Uchiha Mikoto seemed to realize something, and her body froze. Tsunade is the woman I have the deepest ties with. Although she was my teacher. But love is sacred. It can connect heaven and earth. Don't let worldly words destroy our sacred love. Mikoto, I know you love me in your heart. I actually love you in my heart too. Are you willing to accept me? But I can't abandon Tsunade. Bai Yu changed his tone and looked at Uchiha Mikoto and said firmly, I do, sister. Bai Yu finally told me. Uchiha Mikoto seemed to have forgotten Tsunade's mood at the moment. She hugged Bai Yu first, then held Tsunade's hand and said happily. However, when she saw 2 lines of tears on Tsunade's face, her joy disappeared immediately. Bai Yu has telepathy. He has long been aware of Tsunade's inner emotions. It is endless sadness and grievance. He knows Tsunade's character, but he stopped after calling Tsunade. But now, if Bai Yu really doesn't move, he is not a man. Bai Yu flashed in front of Tsunade, seeing a sad and beautiful face. His heart was about to break into pieces. Holding Tsunade's face with both hands, his big finger flexibly wiped away the tears. Misaki, you overheard the conversation between me and Tsunade that day. I said that the next day you would call each other sister and sister. Bai Yu looked at Mikoto and said with a smile, I didn't eavesdrop, I just passed by. I heard it accidentally, Uchiha Mikoto said shyly while playing with the corner of her clothes. I built a button skirt 22, 251 to 7488. If you want to bully me every day, you can come in. Haha. I built a button skirt 22, 251 to 7488. If you want to bully me every day, you can come in. Haha. Chapter 70. 11 Dragon Group members. Tsunade, I've said that in my future, you and Mikoto must be by my side. Don't feel sad or wronged. I'll take care of everything. I've already thought of a solution. Bai Yu said as he hugged Tsunade and Mikoto in his arms. Hearing this, Tsunade finally couldn't control her emotions. Woo woo. Tsunade sobbed in Bai Yu's arms. And the originally shy Mikoto also looked at Tsunade sadly. Comfort Tsunade. Bai Yu created a clone. Let the clone train ninjas. And Bai Yu, for 3 consecutive days. No food, no water. Just sitting at the desk writing furiously. Sister. You said it's been in there for 3 days. No food or water. What can I do? The paper between Uchiha Mikoto and Bai Yu was broken, and they also called you like Tsunade. The two were in front of the office door, and Uchiha asked anxiously. Sister, don't worry. Yu is very strong, and this consumption is nothing. Let's send some water in first. Tsunade said. There is water. It is the same as it was 3 days ago, said Uchiha Mikoto. Tsunade did not speak. Should we knock Bai Yu out? But she could not beat him now. Just when the two beauties were frowning, Bai Yu walked out of the office. Disheveled hair. Sparse stubble. Mikoto, make a copy of this as quickly as possible. And then give one to everyone in the village. Be quick. Bai Yu's voice was hoarse. Okay, good. You, drink some water quickly. Uchiha Mikoto took the small notebook in Bai Yu's hand. Handed a glass of water to Bai Yu. Take Bai Yu to drink it. Uchiha Mikoto then ran to do what Bai Yu asked her to do with peace of mind. Hurry up and wash up, and then take a rest. Tsunade looked at Bai Yu's appearance, but she didn't know that Bai Yu was doing this to deal with the rumors between the two. Yeah. Bai Yu did not refute, but went back to the room, washed up and went to bed. The small notebook just now is the greatest loved chicken soup from the 21st century. Bai Yu racked his brains to re-explain the concept of love, and then passed on a lot of spiritual poison chicken soup to the world. Uchiha Mikoto is awesome. In just half a month, the successful concept of love written by Bai Yu was passed on to everyone in Konoha. For a time, Bai Yu successfully obtained a new title, Love Saint. For a time, the number of people who sang praises to the love between Bai Yu and Tsunade increased day by day. Finally, Sarutobi Hiruzen ordered that the concept of love written by Bai Yu be listed as a banned book. Damn it, the old man is moved by what he wrote. For a time, the Enbu began to get busy. Check the books, Find Uchiha Mikoto, verify the situation, and make sure that all of them have been checked before giving up. But this time, Bai Yu won again. Shimura Danzo was so angry that he sent people to redecorate the office. There was no way that all the furniture became slag. Hiruzen, you are old. You are no longer suitable for the position of Hokage. The position of Hokage must be mine. This is the light of Konoha. Shimura Danzo thought for a long time in the office before saying firmly, and a new scene appeared in the dragon group. Bai Yu's left hand was held by Tsunami, and his right hand was held by Mikoto. These three GNN. And during this time, Bai Yu successfully ate Mikoto cleanly. Beast. 3 months passed in a flash. This day, brothers, congratulations, you have been recognized by me, Bai Yu. Become a qualified elite of the dragon group. Today is the first day after the devil training. Rest today. Barbecue party tonight. This time it's real. Bai Yu said with a smile. The ninjas showed excitement. For 3 months, every day was so fulfilling. The devil training is finally over. Hinata Asakawa, Nararakaha, Yamanaka Hiji, Akimichi Ichito, Kuramaka Okumo, Inozuka River, Yamamoto Takuchi, Aburanchi, Sato Ryota, Mitsuna Buayuki, Uchiha Genji. Those whose names I read out, please step out. The rest of you go back and rest. Bai Yu finished speaking. 11 people were left in the crowd in an instant. Except for Uchiha Genji. These 11 people are all ninjas who once came from the root of the Anbu. And they are strong and perform better in training. Uchiha Genji is the Uchiha ninja who intercepted Bai Yu. What surprised Bai Yu was that the strength and quality shown by Uchiha Genji were definitely not inferior to these 10 people, and even better. The eyes of these 11 people were full of agility, and they were ninjas with flexible minds at a glance. Not all ninjas can compare with the Evildoers of the Nera family. Do you know what it means to ask you to stay? Bai Yu asked with a smile. I don't know, Beitao. Inozuka River also said with a smile. I want to make you the sharp knife of the dragon group. Aren't there the 7 ninja swordsmen? You are the 11 dragon group. How about it? Do you have confidence? Bai Yu asked with a smile. The eyes of the 11 people lit up, and they shouted in unison, yes. Very good. I choose Uchiha Genji as the captain of you 11 people. Do you have any meaning? Bai Yu said with a smile. No. The 10 people said very straightforwardly, with trust and support in their eyes. It fully embodies the word unity. Uchiha Genji looked at the 10 people with gratitude. Why don't you guys compete? I'll feel bad. Uchiha Genji said awkwardly. Well, just treat me to a meal. Inozuka Goa said with a raised eyebrow. Not bad, I agree. Hinata Asakawa also said with a smile. Second. X9. Okay. Uchiha Genji subconsciously touched his wallet and said helplessly. Well, very good. For the 11 of you, I will train you in another way. At Tsunade, I will take care of the 11 of them personally from now on. Bai Yu shouted to Tsunade who was chatting with Uchiha Mikoto in the distance. Tsunade waved her hand to indicate that she heard it and continued to chat with Uchiha Mikoto. Ahem. Well, I will give you $1 million allowance every month from now on. As long as you want to learn taijutsu, swordsmanship, ninjutsu, etc., I will teach you, and I can also tail a ninjutsu for you. I only have one request, that is to become stronger. Become the sharp edge of the dragon group. How about it? This treatment is not bad. Bai Yu said with a smile. Follow Lord Bai Yu until death. The 11 people looked at each other, half knelt down, and said respectfully. Okay. I don't like this. We are all brothers. Why are you talking nonsense? In the future, you can practice at home, come to my house to find me, or ask me to come to the dragon group base. You only have one task, which is to become stronger. When you meet my requirements, I will take you to a place to hone your skills. Bai Yu said with a smile. Yes, sir. X11. Whitehead, I want to learn swordsmanship from you. Uchiha Genji scratched his head and said. Sure. Of course. I see that your swordsmanship is known for its speed. I will teach you a set of swordsmanship that suits you. As for what, I haven't thought about it yet. After all, you use a single blade, and I still need to refine it. 7 days later. If you have time, come find me. Bai Yu thought for a while and said. Thank you, Beitao. Uchiha Genji knew that Bai Yu's swordsmanship was amazing and said excitedly, "Don't do useless things. Buy me a drink when you have time." Bai Yu said generously. Okay. Uchiha Genji touched his wallet again and said, Chapter 71 Dragon Group's Carnival. Afterwards, Bai Yu walked to the kitchen holding the hands of Uchiha Makoto and Tsunade, because he promised everyone to have a barbecue party, so it must be implemented. In the kitchen are 3 chefs hired by Uchiha Makoto. Makoto is Bai Yu's intimate secretary. How could Bai Yu need to worry about such a small matter? Bai Yu looked at the kitchen equipment. He even split several clones to buy barbecue utensils. Bai Yu's original body was preparing ingredients with Uchiha Makoto, Tsunade, and 3 chefs. Feeding 200 pigs requires a lot of ingredients. However, all the ingredients and utensils were prepared before the barbecue party began. Bai Yu also lifted the prohibition on alcohol and prepared sufficient alcohol. But Bai Yu did not act as a barbecue chef, but the 3 chefs ate 5 or 6 full meals in advance and then worked hard to grill skewers. Everyone was very enthusiastic. After all, the reason was that Bai Yu did not hold back anything bad. Come on, Beitao, we toast you. Among the 11 people, Inozuka Gora was the most noisy. At this time, Inozuka Gora raised his glass and shouted. Then, Uchiha Genji, Hinata Asakawa, Nararaka, Yamanaka Hiji, Akimichi Ichito, Aburanchi, Kuramakai Kumo, Yamamoto Takuchi, Sato Ryota, and Mitsunobu Ayuki stood up instantly and picked up their glasses. Whitehead, I'll drink it. Sato Ryota said, and drank it all. Whitehead, I'll drink it too. Yamamoto Takuchi did the same. Mitsunobu Ayuki and others also drank it directly. Inozuka River wanted to say something, but seeing this, he had to drink it. Bai Yu was suddenly full of heroic spirit when he saw this. You 11 toast me 1. If I only drink 1 glass, wouldn't that be too unmanly? Come. Makoto, help me pour the wine. Bai Yu said heroically. Uchiha Makoto didn't say anything, but poured wine for Bai Yu with a smile on her face. This is what a man should be like. Bai Yu drank 11 bowls of sake in a row. Wiped the corners of his mouth. He shouted, brothers, come. I'll drink 3 cups. Then he took the wine that Uchiha Makoto had just poured. This is the first cup. All the brothers present here. From now on, we will share weal and woe and be friends for life and death. Bai Yu shouted proudly and drank the wine in the bowl. This is the second cup. Thank you for your trust, brothers. I, Bai Yu, will remember it in my heart. Cheers. This is the third cup. It's my apology. I'm sorry for the past 3 months, brothers. This time, Bai Yu finished drinking, and the other 200 people, as if they had agreed, did not drink. Beitao, I think what you said is a bit wrong. Mitsunobu Ayuki shouted loudly. Why? Bai Yu was stunned when he heard it. I think, in these 3 months, we should thank you, Beitao. Mitsunobu Ayuki said gratefully. Why? Bai Yu seemed to understand something. In these 3 months, I learned the best swordsmanship in Konoha. Uchiha Genji shouted. In these 3 months, I learned all kinds of strategies. Nararaka has said calmly. In these 3 months, I have learned the taijutsu that suits me. Hinata Asakawa said with tears in his eyes. Hinata Asakawa was originally an ordinary jonin of the Hyuga clan branch. He was promoted after joining the Anbu. When he came to Bai Yu, he was promoted even more. In these 3 months, I have learned the ninjutsu that suits me best. Sato Ryota shouted excitedly. 200 people, each of them shouted loudly what they learned in 3 months. So, Beitao, if you want to apologize to us, we don't deserve it. So please change your reason, Beitao. Inozuka Gora is also an ordinary ninja of the Inozuka family. He not only received respect from Bai Yu, but also received a significant improvement. At this moment, I feel your sincerity. I also feel the friendship between brothers. Okay, this third cup. For our friendship. Cheers. Bai Yu waved his hand and took the wine pot in Uchiha Makoto's hand directly in his hand. He drank it up to the sky. This ignited everyone's heart full of the will of fire. One by one, they also followed suit and drank with the wine pot. Tsunade watched from the side and gave Uchiha Makoto a considerate look, signaling the two to go buy some wine. Although it was enough for now, it would be gone soon if they kept going this way. Alright, brothers. Today I, Bai Yu, will drink all of you down. Bai Yu shouted domineeringly, holding the wine pot in one hand. Ugh, 200 people sighed in unison. Beitao. I, Akimichi Ichito, won't say anything else. I'm known as the Konoha sake jar. I don't accept the fact that I drink. Akimichi Ichito shouted loudly. That's right, Beitao. I'm known as the little King Kong who can drink 1,000 cups without getting drunk. The peerless swine shadow, Kuramako Kumo. Kuramako Kumo also retorted. Bai Yu found that Uchiha Genji had not spoken the whole time. I couldn't help but ask curiously, Genji, why don't you say anything? How much can you drink? If not, come and serve wine to the brothers. We are going to compete in drinking. I saw Uchiha Genji raised his head 45 degrees, drank a sip of wine calmly, and then said deeply, this is just a more delicious water. Suddenly, the scene became cold. No one spoke. Cut him. I don't know who shouted. So people rioted. For a long time, Uchiha Genji's originally cold face was swollen, with black top eyeshadow. Ignorant vulgar people. This is really just a delicious water. Uchiha Genji patted the footprints on his body and said calmly, but looking at the people who were ready to move again. Uchiha Genji hurriedly said, I'm responsible for serving wine. Ahem. The crowd calmed down. Damn pretentious person. If there weren't so many people, I wouldn't be embarrassed to grab it. I must break 3 of your ribs, and then break 3 more, after you heal them, and then heal them. Humph. Bai Yu looked at the busy Uchiha Genji and couldn't help but say in his heart, the barbecue party went very smoothly, and it was in full swing. Everyone consciously did not use chakra to expel the alcohol, and Bai Yu also had a new understanding of his alcohol tolerance. When the 200 people were lying on the playground, Bai Yu walked back to his room with the help of Tsunade and Uchiha Makoto. But Bai Yu was just floating, and his consciousness was still very clear. He only felt that the corners of his mouth were a little wet and a little hot. With a smirk on his lips, the surging chakra circulated for a week. Bai Yu drank the 200 people one by one. You can imagine how spectacular it would be when the alcohol was expelled from the body. The alcohol gushed out from Bai Yu's acupuncture points. Uchiha Makoto, who was beside him, was the first to blush, intoxicated by the alcohol. Tsunade is a master of drinking. But after persisting for a while, she was also intoxicated by the alcohol expelled by Bai Yu. For some reason, Bai Yu looked at Makoto and Tsunade and just couldn't control himself. Forget it, no more control. Dharma Eyes space. You, is this really the only way for you to absorb my blood essence? Why don't you ask me why I'm in your Dharma Eyes space and signed a contract with you? A hint of complexity flashed in Bai Long's huge dragon eyes. Chapter 72, An encounter while shopping. The next day, Bai Yu got up. He looked at the scene around him. It was really messy. What was the wetness and heat at the corners of his mouth yesterday? Bai Yu felt that his physical strength had been greatly improved, and his chakra seemed to be more vigorous. Bai Yu would never have thought that it had anything to do with Bai Long. Bai Yu would not be serious about things that he could not figure out. Bai Yu had breakfast thoughtfully and put it on the table in the room. Then he put on his light armor and walked out, because there were still 200 brothers waiting for him outside. But the time was not too late, just right. Looking at the neat 200 people, without saying a word, he looked at Bai Yu with fiery eyes. Everyone take a half-month vacation. Return to the dragon group in half a month to start accepting the dragon group's tasks. At that time, all rules and regulations will be announced on the bulletin board. At that time, the dragon group will be equipped with excellent civilian personnel. You are not allowed to bully them. Bai Yu said with a smile. Yes. Beitao. Everyone shouted in unison. Go home. Come back in half a month. Bai Yu said loudly. However, the 200 people did not move, but bowed to Bai Yu and walked away. What a touching group of guys. Bai Yu touched his nose and said helplessly, but he was very moved in his heart. Near noon, Bai Yu had been sitting in the playground thinking about how to proceed with his next development. Tsunade and Makoto also found Bai Yu with red faces. Bai Yu embraced the 2 girls in his arms and said, having you in this life is enough. I, Bai Yu, will never marry anyone else. Bai Yu said in an extremely firm tone. Okay, next, I'm going to talk about the next step. Bai Yu said with a smile. Tsunade and Makoto heard this and sat beside Bai Yu with a serious look. Makoto, next discuss the clerks needed with Tsunade and then post the recruitment information in Konoha village. The most important thing is character, and the salary can be increased by 1.5 times. Plan the location of the dragon group's arsenal in the base. Thank you for your hard work, Makoto. Bai Yu said with a smile. It's okay, I just run errands and help out. It's not tiring. Uchiha Makoto smiled sweetly. You are very careful. With you here, Bai Yu has saved a lot of trouble. Tsunade said with a smile. No way. Uchiha Makoto said shyly. Tsunade, you will have to work hard next. The rules and regulations of the dragon group, the dragon group ranking, and the task evaluation, the reward and punishment system of the dragon group and so on. I roughly calculated that according to the requirements of the village, the dragon group's mission teams will be divided into 63 groups. You need to pay attention to the handover of tasks with Brother Hatache. Bai Yu said. Don't worry, leave it to me. Tsunade said proudly, patting her chest. It's a pity that Tsunade is wearing light armor now, otherwise Bai Yu would be able to appreciate it. Yoshi, next, I can devote myself to my plan. Bai Yu said with a smile. By the way, you don't need to wear light armor unless it is necessary. Now is not a war period. Bai Yu said as he looked at the two women wearing light armor. Although they have a heroic style, Bai Yu still hopes that his women can be beautiful. Let's put it this way. There's no rush for work. Let's go shopping. I haven't strolled around the village for 3 months. I'll go shopping with you. Bai Yu thought for a moment and said with a smile. Here's your passbook. Uchiha Makoto handed Bai Yu a passbook from her arms. Tsunade's eyes lit up and she was about to grab it. But Bai Yu was faster than her. Then Bai Yu handed the passbook to Uchiha Makoto. You are responsible for keeping the money in it. The dragon group needs funds to maintain in the early stage, and the staff salaries also need money. You also need to spend money on weekdays. But if someone asks you for money, it's best to ask clearly what they want. If they want to do something forbidden, then you don't have to give it. Bai Yu said, while gesturing to Tsunade. Tsunade tilted her head and snorted proudly. Stingy guy. Uchiha Makoto did not refuse, but said to herself that I must manage the money well and not let you down. After Bai Yu said something else, he took the hands of the two girls and returned to the Bai mansion. With Bai Yu's help, Uchiha Makoto packed her belongings and moved into Baifu. Under the envious eyes of passers-by, Bai Yu held the hands of the two girls and showed off their love on the street. Bai Yu was wearing a white robe with golden patterns, a white feather sword on his waist, and his long silver grey hair was naturally smooth, revealing a compelling heroic spirit between his eyebrows. Very beautiful. Tsunade and Makoto both wore newly bought high heels and new Japanese style clothes. Of course not the kind of kimono with a quilt on the back. It was a fashionable one. Tsunade has a mature temperament, yellow hair tied into a bun, a green hairpin, and a diamond-shaped mark on the center of her eyebrows, which is quite noble. Makoto has long straight black hair, a gentle face, and a sweet smile, which looks like a little girl next door. The three people with high looks have a 100% rate of turning heads wherever they go. And Bai Yu and Tsunade are still the current celebrities. Hey, Makoto. A crisp female voice came from a distance. It's Uchiha Missy. It seems that Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Missy are also shopping. Missy. Uchiha Makoto was also very happy to see Uchiha Missy. They have been good friends since childhood, so there is no need to say much about their feelings. Uchiha Missy walked over holding Fugaku's hand. She looked at Bai Yu, at Tsunade, and Missy. As expected. I've said it before, Missy, you didn't let me down. Back then, Missy was. Before Missy finished speaking, Missy covered Uchiha Missy's mouth like a little lion. Missy knew Missy's character too well. If she continued, she would definitely tell her about her secret love for Bai Yu. No wonder Missy knew Bai Yu's clothing size. So that's it. It turns out to be the power of love. Uchiha Fugaku said with a look of as if that's it. Oh my god, Fu, you have grown up? Question mark? Sir Bai Yu. Uchiha Fugaku said politely to Bai Yu. What's the difference between an adult and an adult? We are all brothers. Why are you so polite? This is not a serious occasion. Bai Yu said proudly. I think so. My old man insisted on this. Uchiha Fugaku's upright smile returned to his face. Really, Chief Fugang is too polite. We are all family. Why are you still so polite? Bai Yu looked at the playful Uchiha Makoto and Uchiha Missy and said with a smile. That's right, Bai Yu. I'm not saying. You are really amazing. This is the first time I saw Makoto so beautiful. Uchiha Fugaku said with a thumbs up sincerely. Haha. How is the amusement park recently? Bai Yu smiled proudly and then asked. Now the Uchiha clanland is almost the most crowded place in Konoha village. Almost everyone who comes will play in the amusement park for a day. There are endless people coming to play every day. Uchiha Fugaku said excitedly. Do you want to go for a walk together? It's been so long, and I haven't been there. It's just right to bring Tsunade and Makoto with me. Bai Yu said with a smile. Okay, let's go. Uchiha Fugaku said with his eyes brightened. Then the 5 of them started to march towards the amusement park. Chapter 73 Bai Yu wants to make trouble. Spend a few happy days with Tsunade and Makoto. Bai Yu knew that he could not indulge himself anymore. Not to mention the various uneasy factors outside the village. Even in the village, Shimura Danzo has always been a big worry for Bai Yu. Bai Yu came to the ninja tool shop he often went to again. He found the uncle of the ninja tool shop. He explained his purpose. The uncle of the ninja tool shop also promised Bai Yu that he would definitely invite the master who helped Bai Yu forge the Bai Yu sword to help Bai Yu. And Bai Yu also said to the uncle of the ninja tool shop generously that as long as the master is willing to come, he can ask for anything. After a few days, Uchiha Genji, Hinata Asakawa, Nararaka, Akimichi Ichito, Yamanaka Hiji, Aburamchi, Inozuka River, Sato Ryota, Yamamoto Takuchi, Mitsunobu Ayuki, Kuramaki Okumo also returned to the Dragon Group for training. And Uchiha Genji came to Bai Yu's home. Ask for swordsmanship. Bai Yu tailored a set of single-edged swordsmanship for Uchiha Genji. Can attack and defend. Attack is also defense. Defense is also attack. With inch power and chakra, the speed is comparable to instant body technique. Bai Yu will not favor one over the other. The other 10 people have all studied a set of physical skills suitable for them, including the ninjutsu of 11 people. Bai Yu intends to train these 11 people into loyal followers, so how could he be stingy? In business, Bai Yu is the leader. In manpower, rapid growth in all aspects. In strength, as long as they are not strong people at the level of Cage in each village, Bai Yu will definitely make them suffer. But Bai Yu has to do much more than that. If he wants to protect his lover, brother, Bai Yu is far from enough now. You know, that disgusting white guy has always been regarded as a shame by Bai Yu. Regardless of this guy, Shimura Danzo is an old friend of Sarutobi Hiruzen. If he touches him without reasonable reasons and corresponding conditions, he will definitely become a traitor. It seems that some planning is needed. Bai Yu came to the Dragon Group base. Go straight to the training place of the Dragon Group 11. Whitehead. The 11 people saw Bai Yu coming. The instant body technique came to Bai Yu. Well, sit down. I need your help with something. Bai Yu nodded and said seriously. Then he sat on the ground. The 11 people also sat on the ground with a serious face. I need you to monitor Shimura Danzo. Get his information, even what time he goes to the toilet. I want to know. I will teach you the breath holding technique. It can greatly reduce the possibility of you being discovered. Genji, you are responsible. Take turns to monitor. Bai Yu said seriously. Yes. Uchiha Genji answered seriously. At the same time, the 11 people began to get excited. This was the first time Bai Yu asked them to do something. Okay, go quickly. Report to me every 3 days. After Bai Yu finished speaking, the 11 people used the instant body technique and their figures gradually disappeared. Just as several people disappeared, Bai Yu suddenly remembered the research room next to the root base. A gleam of light flashed in his eyes. The figure also disappeared quickly. Underground laboratory. Orochimaru. When will your experiment have results? Shimura Danzo said to Orochimaru in a white suit with dissatisfaction in his eyes. You only gave me so many primary cells. I still need to study and cultivate them, and do experiments. So the speed will be slower. If you can get more primary cells, I think the progress of the experiment will definitely be accelerated, Orochimaru said with a smile, hiding a trace of snake-like viciousness in the depths of his eyes. Can Morelli guarantee the speed of the experiment? Shimura Danzo said impatiently. I promise you will die quickly. Orochimaru smiled on his face and added in his heart, I will get the cells for you. You also have to ensure that the experiment will have results as soon as possible. Shimura Danzo said and left in a huff. When Shimura Danzo left, Yukon, don't you want a cup of tea? Orochimaru licked his tongue and said with a smile, Lord Orochimaru is worthy of the title of Sannin. He is really vigilant. Bai Yu was full of smiles, and his figure instantly appeared in front of Orochimaru. If Yu-jun hadn't deliberately exposed his flaws, how could my little snakes have survived to come back alive and report the news? As Orochimaru spoke, a few little snakes at his feet crawled into Orochimaru's trouser legs. I don't want to beat around the bush. I just heard a little about what happened between you and Shimura Danzo, but I don't want to investigate in detail. I want to kill Shimura Danzo. Do you want to be a good person and work with me to kill him, or go all the way and get involved with Shimura Danzo? Bai Yu said directly. Yu-jun is really direct. Don't you really want to know what I'm researching? Shimura Danzo is still useful to me now, which makes it difficult for me to choose. Orochimaru said with a smile. First generation cells, right? Sage body, powerful wood escape, super strong healing ability, split cells can achieve instant healing. These are what you want to study, right? Bai Yu said leisurely. I've seen too many separations of life and death. Even Tsunade's brother died in front of me, in just a moment. Where do people go after death? Why are people born? Am I Orochimaru? Who am I? Don't you think the topic of immortality is very interesting? Orochimaru's eyes flashed with excitement. I'm not interested in this. Are you interested in my cells? Also, you can fool that idiot Shimura Danzo. You almost fooled me. I also have medical knowledge. If you want more primary cells, it's definitely not as simple as cultivating. The success rate of cultivation is certainly very low, but it's definitely not what you said. I think you already have the experimental results, right? Bai Yu said straightforwardly. Yu-jun's cells. I'm very interested. I have to say, you're really not easy to fool. Then do you want to know what my purpose is? And don't you want to know what the experimental results are? Orochimaru said with madness in his eyes. Not interested. You are just an experiment maniac. Frankenstein. I don't care what you do, and I don't want to care. Just one word. Will you follow me to kill that little bastard Shimura Danzo? Bai Yu said bluntly. Hearing Bai Yu's words, Orochimaru was stunned. Then he said firmly, do it. Help me collect evidence that Shimura Danzo did the first generation of cells. Remember to clear yourself. Otherwise, it will be difficult for me to deal with it. Bye. Bai Yu's figure gradually disappeared after he finished speaking. Yu-jun. You really understand me. I didn't expect you to reveal my true nature in one sentence. Orochimaru looked at Bai Yu's disappearing figure for a long time and couldn't calm down. His eyes were full of strange emotions. Then Orochimaru's eyes turned cold, and he sealed his useful experimental equipment and other items in several scrolls. He rearranged the traps in the laboratory. Finally, Orochimaru thought about it and wrote a scroll. This place has been discovered. I have destroyed it. You should also act as soon as possible. If you want to find me, go, find me. After Orochimaru finished writing, he carved a spell on the first half and used the snake secret technique to carve a protective spell on the second half. Then, at the end of a word, he used a special method to carve a super small summoning spell. This is a series of operations. When Shimura Danzo sees the scroll, the seal on the first half will burn quickly, activating the spell on the second half. Then the spell will activate the summoning spell and summon a small snake, as long as a finger. This small snake has no effect. Only one will disappear with the scroll. At this time, Orochimaru will definitely have some feelings and summon the small snake back. With the scroll in hand, Shimura Danzo will only think it is a confidential scroll. And Orochimaru not only destroyed the transaction record from Shimura Danzo, but also got the confidential scroll that Shimura Danzo wanted to discuss with him. The chapters updated in the past 2 days feel a bit lacking, but it will be interesting starting today. Chapter 74 Konoha Media. Orochimaru summoned a special messenger snake again and put the scroll into the snake's mouth. The snake crawled away. After finishing these, Orochimaru's eyes flashed with joy. Shimura Danzo, can you escape Bai Yu's storm? In a blink of an eye, it was already late autumn. Bai Yu studied Shimura Danzo's information every day. Every time Bai Yu looked at Shimura Danzo's information, he was glad in his heart that he didn't act in advance. Shimura Danzo, this old thief, actually has 2 substitutes. And wherever he goes, no matter whether it is a substitute or himself, he will bring many root ninjas to protect him secretly. Is he afraid of being assassinated because he knows that he has done so many bad things? He really cherishes his life. But Bai Yu then took a look at the latest intelligence. His eyes lit up. Old thief, finally got the chance. Bai Yu tidied up his appearance and ran to the Uchiha clan. Bai Yu, you are here. Bai Yu just arrived at Uchiha Fugaku's house. Uchiha Fugaku appeared in front of Bai Yu in the shape of brushing his teeth. Pa, you little bastard. How many times have I told you to call me Lord Bai Yu? A move of the old man's killing slapped Xiaofu on the back of his head. Gulp. Xiaofu swallowed the toothpaste directly. Xiaofu hurriedly ran to the side and pinched his throat. Elder Bai Yu, I'm sorry to embarrass you. Although Uchiha Fugang's face was still as cold, the gloomy aura had become very light. It's okay. There's not much difference between Fugaku and me. In fact, I can be casual with him. Haha. Bai Yu said with a smile. He was led into the living room by Uchiha Fugang. Bai Yu drank a sip of tea. Elder Bai Yu, do you have a new project? Uchiha Fugang asked. Uchiha Fugang saw the results of the wood industry playground, but he was always thinking about when Bai Yu would have a new project. I came this time. I want to tell you, the clan leader, something big. It's about the Uchiha clan. Bai Yu said with a serious face. Oh. Please speak. Uchiha Tamago's face was also serious, and he said, although the Uchiha clan has changed, some people's hearts still cannot accommodate the Uchiha clan. For example, Shimura Danzo. Bai Yu finished speaking and took a sip of tea. Uchiha Tamago is worthy of being the head of the clan, and he understood it instantly. I don't know what Elder Bai Yu means. Uchiha Tamago saw Bai Yu's godly look and said with a smile. Think about the problem from another angle. Why did Shimura Danzo do this? Bai Yu said with a smile. Hokage? Uchiha Tamago thought for a while and then said with a gleam in his eyes. Yes. That's the position. What a piece of shit Danzo Shimura is. Hokage's kindness is just hesitation in that guy's eyes. Womanly kindness. The Hyuga clan has always been ambiguous towards the Hokage clan. So the Uchiha clan, as a powerful clan in Konoha, must be a thorn in the eyes of this guy. If I guess correctly, this guy will definitely spread rumors in Konoha village, saying that the Uchiha clan's true colors have been revealed, and will also control the Uchiha clan members to create some scandals. But I know that the old thief has a summoning beast called Dream Taper. What will happen to a person after eating his dream? And this old thief also has ninjas from the Yamanaka clan in his hands. TSK. It's terrifying to think about it. Bai Yu said. Then I will strengthen the defense of the Uchiha clan now. Uchiha Tamago said seriously. No need to go through so much trouble. To be honest, I've been studying how to kill this old thief recently. So you, clan leader, just need to stabilize the emotions in the clan. Always pay attention to the movements of some members in the clan who have opened the Sharingan. Get evidence of this old thief's actions. Also, send any clan members who are unconscious or have abnormal reactions to me immediately. As long as it's timely, I'm sure to save them, even if they've died for half a minute. During this time, I'll find a place to live in the Uchiha clan. Bai Yu said with a gleam in his eyes. Oh, why not live in my humble abode? Uchiha Tamago said. No. The old thief will get suspicious if I'm here. I'll come and bother you for a few days after the problem is solved. Bai Yu said helplessly. Okay then. After the problem is solved, you must come to stay for a few days. Let me show my appreciation. Uchiha Tamago was not a stupid person, and he instantly understood what Bai Yu meant. I'll definitely come and bother you. Bai Yu said politely. Well, by the way, Elder Bai Yu, you must treat Makoto well. Uchiha Tamago joked. Ah. Haha. Don't worry. Bai Yu touched his nose awkwardly and said, after chatting with Uchiha Few Gang for a few words, he found a place to rest in the Uchiha clan. Shimura Danzo, you old thief, let's see if you will die this time. Lord Hokage, I know you can't bear to part with your old friend, but this time, Shimura Danzo must die. Bai Yu's eyes flashed with murderous intent. Snowflakes were floating in the sky of Konoha again, and a year passed quickly. The winter of Konoha was also the day when Shimura Danzo started to make trouble again. The Uchiha clan, the true colors are revealed. The arrogant and conceited nature, after all, can't be repented. The Uchiha clan is still the unpleasant clan. A series of rumors began to spread. Just a few days after the rumors spread, several members of the Uchiha clan slaughtered several civilians, bringing the name of Uchiha to the bottom again. And Uchiha Few Gang tied up several members of the clan and came to Bai Yu's couch. Elder Bai Yu, please help. Looking at the grey-haired Tamigeo, Bai Yu felt a sense of emotion. Has Uchiha Tamigeo started to get old? After Bai Yu sighed a little, he rescued several clansmen who were bewitched by the Yamanaka secret technique. The method is very simple. Just open the Dharma Eye and collect the soul of the caster in the body into the Dharma Eye space. What surprised Bai Yu was that the old thief Shimura Danzo actually had so many ninjas from the Yamanaka clan. During the conversation with Uchiha Tamigeo, Bai Yu also knew that Tamigeo had evidence. However, Bai Yu did not let Uchiha Tamigeo act. The reason is that the current evidence cannot kill Shimura Danzo. Uchiha Tamigeo also said that he would listen to Bai Yu in everything. And Bai Yu also heard one thing from Uchiha Tamigeo, that is, Uchiha Tamigeo planned to let Uchiha Fugaku be the clan leader. And Uchiha Fugaku needs to hand over the work of the security bureau to someone else. Uchiha Tamigeo became one of the members of the Uchiha Elders group. After chatting with Uchiha Tamigeo for a while, he went back to his house to stay for a few days, which was agreed before. However, judging from the means by which Shimura Danzo spread rumors these times, Bai Yu needs to start a new project. Konoha Media Company. You know, the media is a good project. Manipulating public opinion is a master. Bai Yu told Uchiha Tamigeo about this early the next morning. Uchiha Tamigeo of course agreed directly. However, this time Bai Yu did not let the Uchiha clan be responsible, but only let the Uchiha clan become shareholders. The person in charge this time is the Hyuga family. Why? Because the Hyuga family has not had any negative comments so far. And the Hyuga family is still a wealthy family in Konoha, so it is the best fit. Just do it. In 2 days, Bai Yu sorted out the plan of the Uchiha family. The first thing to publish was naturally newspapers. Technology is not so awesome now, so newspapers can only be used. Bai Yu wrote the articles published in the first 5 issues, and went straight to the Hyuga clan. Don't ask why Bai Yu is so talented. Don't forget that Bai Yu is a young man from the 21st century, and his stomach is full of chicken soup. Chapter 75 New Trends of the 11. With Konoha Media, Bai Yu, will win the war of public opinion! Exclamation mark. After discussing this matter with Hyuga Hayashi agreed. Then Bai Yu talked about some matters related to reporters, editors, and newspaper space. Bai Yu also emphasized the low price of selling 1 TL per newspaper. Elder Bai Yu, if you only charge 1 TL per newspaper, labor and other things will lose money. Isn't this a losing business? Hyuga Hayashi asked. I thought to myself, is Bai Yu here to cheat my Hyuga clan this time? I didn't provoke him. How can I lose money? When will I, Bai Yu, do a losing business? When the newspaper reaches the point where everyone reads it, it will be time to collect advertising fees. Bai Yu said meaningfully. Advertising fees? What advertising fees? Hyuga Hayashi asked puzzled. Bai Yu slapped his forehead. Sure enough, he should choose the Nara family. When everyone reads the newspaper, it proves the influence of Konoha Media Company. In time, we can set up a section to promote Konoha villages, delicacies and the like. Then the shops on this column will be well known. If you want me to help you promote, then pay the advertising fee. Do you understand? Bai Yu said carefully. Ah, I see. Although I don't understand it very well, it seems very promising after hearing you say it. Hyuga Hayashi said thoughtfully. By the way, I suggest you go to the Ino, Deer and Chow families. There is strength in numbers, Bai Yu said very tactfully. In fact, Bai Yu wanted to say, brother, if you don't find the Nera family together, you will lose a lot. That's right, there is strength in numbers. I will send people to the Nera family, the Akimichi family, and the Yamanaka family. Hyuga Hayashi said with his eyes bright. Bai Yu was relieved when he heard this. It's not that the Hyuga family doesn't have enough brains, but that the Nera family, a product of the 21st century, thinks faster. Back to the Bai mansion. It's been a long time since I saw Tsunade and Mikoto. After calming Mikoto and Tsunade, Bai Yu sat in the yard. Tsunade made tea for Bai Yu, while Mikoto was cleaning the room. Suddenly a snake appeared at Bai Yu's feet. Bai Yu grabbed the snake in his hand, and the snake's mouth suddenly became bigger. A scroll was spit out wetly. Bai Yu's mouth twitched twice. Is this Orochimaru disgusting me? Tsunade, who was far away, saw the snake in Bai Yu's hand and frowned. She knew very well what Orochimaru was doing. Bai Yu suppressed his nausea. He opened the scroll. Yu-jun, the evidence is in hand. Let this snake suck some of your blood. After I receive your blood, I will pass the evidence to you. WTM. Well, Bai Yu had no choice but to hand over his hand. The snake circled around Bai Yu's arm. Then it bit down. But Bai Yu's face was about to turn black. What is this? Orochimaru. Oh, forget it. The little snake thickened 3 times and then turned into a puff of white smoke. After a while, another snake came over, this time with a scroll and a glass tube with a piece of paper in it. Bai Yu opened the glass tube. Yu-jun, I thought you would stop, but I didn't expect you to let the snake suck it full. I have to say, you are really too honest. Fire escape. Fire dragon flame bomb. Bai Yu's face was dark, and he was so angry that he used a ninjutsu to vaporize the paper directly. Bai Yu flipped through the scroll sent by Orochimaru again, and finally calmed down after seeing the content. Dada Tsunade came to Bai Yu in high heels, sitting next to him. How did you get in touch with Orochimaru? Tsunade asked. I'm doing something against Denzo. Orochimaru helped me. Bai Yu said with a smile. Do you know what Orochimaru is doing? Tsunade asked. I know. Experimenting. There's nothing wrong with Orochimaru. He just has this kind of almost obsessive enthusiasm for scientific research. He's a Frankenstein, an experiment maniac. Nothing is unimportant. I just need to know that he won't harm me. I'm not afraid of him harming me. Haha. Bai Yu knew it with a nonchalant look on his face. Okay, you know what's going on. I won't say much. How do you plan to deal with Shimura Danzo? Tsunade asked. Well, I plan to keep it a secret. Haha. Bai Yu said with a smirk. TSK. Tsunade gave Bai Yu a beautiful eye roll. Then Bai Yu hugged Tsunade and then picked up Mikoto who was mopping the floor. He walked into the room. The next day, the 11 members of the dragon group sent someone to deliver information on time. The person who came was Mitsunobu Aoki. Bai Yu did not let Mitsunobu Aoki leave, but after reading the information, he asked Mitsunobu Aoki to bring everyone over. Bai Yu has something to say to everyone. Mitsunobu Aoki nodded. The figure gradually disappeared. After a while, Uchiha Genji and others appeared in Beifu. Genji, this is the basic information of the black market. You 11 people join the black market to gain experience. The period is 4 years. Come back before the 38th year of Konoha. Genji is the person in charge. Remember, 11 people go out and 11 people come back. Don't die in vain because of the black market mission. Even if the mission fails, you can't die rashly. You must know that the entire black market is not as important as the lives of you 11 people. Bai Yu said seriously. Yes. The eyes of the 11 people flashed with emotion. After you go out, Asakawa, you give the sealing technique of the Byakugan to Genji. Although the Sharingan is unique, it does not mean that other people can't use it, except the people of the Uchiha clan. Okay, go. Be sure to come back if you have something. Safety is the most important. Bai Yu mentioned the issue of safety again. This time Bai Yu did not keep them. The figures of the 11 people disappeared in front of Bai Yu. In fact, Bai Yu asked the 11 people to go out for experience and also wanted to understand the situation of the ninja world from the side. If he knew about that disgusting white guy, Bai Yu would definitely kill him with Bai Yu sword in the first place. Bai Yu sat on the steps and thought carefully. The evidence of the Uchiha family, the evidence of Orochimaru, and the assassination of Bai Yu by Shimura Danzo. These 3 pieces of evidence, well, are not enough. Not enough. The chips are not enough. None of them are important figures in the Hokage series. We have to wait a little longer, but the Uchiha clan will have to live under the infamy for a while. The Hyuga family acted quickly. In a week, they had established the Konoha Media Company with the Ino, Shika and Chao families. For a while, many staff members who claimed to be Konoha media reporters appeared on the streets. Interviews in the streets and alleys, collecting news and interesting things that can be reported. After a few days, the first issue of the newspaper called Konoha Current Affairs began to be sold in the streets and alleys. At first, there were not many people reading it, but only 1 or 2 copies. Everyone gave Bai Yu face and bought a copy regardless of whether they wanted to read it or not. However, with the magical chicken soup of the 21st century, the people of Konoha were successfully brainwashed again. Konoha's current affairs are on fire. Remember to add skirts. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.